So you get an insight and you know something, you know, but you don't want to say it out loud because you're kind of afraid that it's not going to be really true and it'll spoil the whole thing for you, you know. But when somebody makes you say it, then, and it's true, then it just makes it more beautiful of a thing.
Water is the softest and most yielding substance, yet nothing is better than water for overcoming the hard and rigid, because nothing can compete with it. Lao Tzu.
Name straight, new wave. Name straight, new wave. Name straight, new wave. Name straight, new wave.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, one and all, to the CGL channel and the Kunoichi Kosmos Rising Playoffs. We're here with some of the best of the Rising series, and we're going to bring you the action. We have 4 teams that have jumped in, teams that have been long, storied teams throughout the history of the Rising tournament. We've got, of course, 2 teams immediately recognizable. You've got Kaiju Core MX, aka KCMX, and Crimson Whelps. My name is Kaylin, and I'm here with Spectron. Spectron, are you ready to see the best that Gold has to offer?
I guess we'll see. Of course, for those who don't know, Rising is the tier below, I suppose, the open tier. It's up to Diamond, I believe. So you can have some relatively strong players, definitely stronger than, the average Overwatch, but typically we're not going to be seeing the Kevses in this level. This does actually end up with a very different style of competition that we see. Obviously, the community is a huge factor, and they are very tight-knit. But also, it means that in terms of the actual games we have, in terms of the comps we play, they can vary a lot more. One thing that I'm always impressed with a little bit with Rising teams is even though the individuals aren't always maybe hyper carry levels of performance, a lot of the time the macro is quite, beyond their years, I suppose you'd say, as a ranked player. So that's something to maybe pay attention to, because we might see some weird ideas, but they will probably have a pretty good foundation behind them.
Yeah, weird ideas is a good foundation is sort of the bread and butter of the Rising series. And you have these 4 teams, but these are teams that have been together for a while, especially Crimger Whelps, especially Kaiju Tormex. These are teams that have played in multiple Rising tournaments, both official and Kunoichi tournaments, that have been streamed here and on the Rising stream. Let's get into these rosters though, as KC and X will be our first team that we look at. There you go, you got Sandbox God and Saturn with Felix Felices on the tank, and Tangerine and Yucca on the support line. I love this roster. Felix Felices is always a joy to cast, always incredibly fun. Tangerine is a great flex support, and Sandbox God and Saturn are some incredible DPS pairings.
I mean, another thing is, as far as I can tell, in the seeding matches, Kaiju Core were able to go 3-0 against every other team in the tournament, so absolutely the favorites here. Fortunately, couldn't have a look at those VODs myself, as I believe they've expired, but absolutely that kind of dominance is something we might have to expect once we actually load into the server. I believe the last time these 2 teams clashed, it was 2-0 in the favor of Kaiju Core, so already we're seeing, I think, a favorite emerge here in this tournament, and it's just going to be more of a coronation story, mayhap, than a question mark about who's going to make it to the throne.
That's a bit of what you're expecting, and for Kaiju Core, they've been an incredibly strong team the entire way through. But now, we take a look at their competitors of this match. As we are in this bracket stage, we look at Crimger Whelps.
Here we go. Crimger Whelps coming up now. Going to be Puppy, Rat Rumpus, Arkinspire, Chibi, and Arani. I confess, not as familiar with these 5 players as K-Wing was with our previous, but I do very much hope that they can bring a bit of a fight, because as previously mentioned, last time these 2 teams clashed, it wasn't incredibly close. I think 0-1, and Eikendowda kind of shows just how much dominance Kaiju Core were able to bring out. It's a new day, though, and with that comes a new chance to right previous wrongs and come back swinging. They say to lose is to learn, so I would very much hope that the Crimger Whelps have learned, and if they have, then we could have a bit more excitement than we've planned for on our hands.
That we could, with Crimger Whelps going 0-3, not picking up a single map in their early start, but that's the thing with Rising is that with the number of teams we have here, with the few number of teams that we have, you really do have to say sometimes there are teams that have players of lower ranks, and maybe they're just here for fun. None of these teams are playing for an absolutely insane OWCS $20,000 prize pool. It's nothing crazy, and it's why this scene is as fun as it is because these players, to an extent, are all very tight-knit, all know each other very well, and so it's a lot of fun. Looking at our first map of the day, though, we've got Helios, our first one.
I'm not complaining. Honestly, I'm just happy to have escaped Lijiang, because I think the last 5 maps, maybe even 8 maps I've seen in organized play have all been Lijiang Tower, and the mental damage that does to a person, immeasurable. So here on a real map again, we've got some lovely DPS fights. We can take some longer sightlines here as we start on Ruins. Widowmakers could be abound, and Saturn seems to be hovering in spawn about now. The one kind of mainstay we expect to see from both these teams is going to end up being Juno. That hero is just more powerful than God right now, but everything else is kind of in flux. Arissa's re-entering the variation, and as previously mentioned, these rising teams are going to be doing a lot more personal style based choices rather than purely hero strength, so pay attention to that as well. KCMX on a dive poke hybrid with a Diva Sombra, Crimson Whelps running a Roadhog poke composition just to really spam out their opposition.
I don't think the side of KCMX might not have been quite ready, because the doors opened, 9 players rushed out of the spawn, and Felix Felicity's stayed put. A touch of a DC is what it seems from Felix Felicity, so we're going to be taking a little bit of a pause going forward on that. Talking about our bracket for the Rising series, it's of course going to be this match right here. The other 2 teams, which are of course Lava Lilies and Pause, are going to be facing off on the other side of it. Then going forward, I believe we do have a double elimination.
I think you're correct there. I think it will be a double elimination bracket, so shouldn't be over Red Rover, the team that loses here, nor for the team on the other side of the bracket, but, you know, it's still going to be relatively short, all things considered, so keep your eyes peeled for that, because especially with this game, I believe being a first to 2, then this action could be over in a flash. Yeah, unfortunately for KCMX, it did look like the lights were on. Unfortunately, nobody was home. But in a little bit, we will be able to get right back in. We've got an ETA for about 2 minutes. So for that much time, we might have a bit of a chin wag here, K-Wing, on this fine evening.
I always, Spec, it's been a bit, Spec. I always forget how British you are, and then I chat with you, and you're like, I'm gonna have a bit of a chin wag, and I'm like, he's so British, Heart. He's so my British co-caster. Anyway, Barre got Crimson Whelps taking a bit of position on the point, and it's a great hook and takeout from Arc Inspire, taking out Saturn. Crimson Whelps are getting very grouped up, and Sandbox God going to be the next to fall. The Juno of Arani going very well as KCMX on the back foot.
Cook 'em. Pretty simple way of starting out the fight, and as Saturn comes crashing to earth, Crimdra Whelps get a lovely first start here on the objective. Saturn, though, is back, looking to take ahead, and so Crimdra Whelps going to have to ready themselves for a next fight.
Oh, and Tangerine already finding Rat Rumpus, and now rushing through the speed ring as the rest of KCMX rolling forward as Saturn finds himself on the wrong side of Arani, trying to use that SMG to their benefit, but Arani's going to get taken down, and KCMX, they are not at the top of this bracket for no reason.
Yeah, I mean, Crimdra Whelps, after they got those first 2 picks, unfortunately didn't really snowball that advantage enough, and so KCMX, they've got so much space when they're walking out. They can just find picks. They have so much free room, and now it's Crimdra Whelps who are on the back foot here.
Yeah, Crimdra on the back foot as well. Felix has the ult. Yucca as well. Very close. You don't even need the ult. Chibi just goes in a bit too deep. Finds himself on the wrong side of the Diva Blasters. Now Arani in some trouble. Does find the pick on the Sandbox God. Now an even 4v4. But, ooh, a headshot from Saturn. Opens the door for Kaiju Core to keep on pushing through. Big hook onto Tangerine. Going to use the ult is Arkinspire, but the defense matrix is going to mitigate a lot of that. Arkinspire nearly into trouble. Eventually going to get taken out, but KCMX throwing in only really one ult to that fight.
I mean, that's so efficient. Yes, the Juno is your biggest, and yes, you are going to struggle if Arani has a chance to rip theirs in the next, but come on, you're up 60%. You've got 4 check marks to your name. Crimdra Whelps are essentially bottled in spawn right now, and Saturn is just taking names.
Yeah, Saturn hitting that shot. It looks like we have another bit of DC. The internet just not our friend. You know, you gotta say, small indie game dev company Blizzard is doing their best. You know, the one developer who's in charge of Overwatch Esports is going out and is buying more RAM for the servers right now. So hopefully, once they get back from Micro Center, we're gonna be in business.
And if I say what I think, I'm in big trouble, so I will not speak. No, I know. In all seriousness, no, we've had a really great game so far. I think we've got to see Saturn like begin to heat up into that game, like just a couple of headshots of that Widowmaker. After a bit of an awkward first fight, it's kind of more what we were expecting, right, K-Wing? Kaiju Core just absolutely dominating. Crimja Whelps, they're definitely on the back foot here, but they're not in a terrible scenario. Again, Arani has that Orbital Ray, and that ultimate is probably top 3 in the game. It's some combination of like that, Kitsune Rush, EMP. It's so damn strong, so not being able to mirror that out could be a problem, and especially if they go before there's a chance for this EMP to detonate. You know, I think the Crimja Whelps have a way back into Ruins.
I think so too, but you have to think that EMP could be a deadly ult tool for KCMX. I mean, you did list the big ults, and EMP was right up there as well. So with that Orbital Strike, you are running afoul of the EMP, and really you're probably only going to get 1-2 fights if you're lucky. That EMP might just be the instant win button. I guess it's going to be who can press their instant win button in the most stylish of ways. But
yeah.
As we wait, it looks like it's another DC from Felix Felices. Just having a bit of trouble with that Wi-Fi.
Just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. Unfortunately, Wi-Fi differential happens. But yeah, I mean, back to what we were saying about those really strong ultimates. It does end up being, if you go first, you need to get a kill, because if you don't, then your opponent's going to go second and find one. We see here Sandbox Sword pretty far back, but Felix Felices out of mech. This could get awkward. Nah, back in immediately.
Yeah, going to immediately be back in. It will reset the ultimate, but there goes the rally. It's a great engage out of Kaiju Core. Tangerine sees the opening and is going to push right through it. Rat Rump is in some trouble, able to jump out of the way. And Arkenspire is quite confused. But in the end, it's Kaiju Core really holding on. Still has the EMP.
I'm confused too. I don't think that's how that interaction is supposed to work. That's General Pops though, EMP instantly.
EMP, it's going to be Chibi going down from Saturn and Rat Rumpus as well. Sandbox God really showing off. Oh, Tangerine is trapped, but no one can touch the point. So no one will have to see Tangerine pinned between a bob and a wall.
So the reason Arkenspire and myself as well are confused is because when you get demeched, then you obviously have a window to use your self-destructs, which will give you a new mech back. What that means, though, is that it will not show the item in the kill feed, because the kill feed demech is only shown when the animation completes. So the fact we got that item and an instant remake has just actually boggled my mind. I'd love to see that in the replay code, exactly what went down, because whatever it was, it meant that Felix Felices had a huge advantage, and KCMX were able to convert the round because of it. Obviously, strong start from him. Echo out assassin means that there's less of a long-range hit scan threat. The soldier just isn't as scary. But in terms of the dives, in terms of the raw damage, Kaiju Core stronger than ever. Crimja Whelps, a Mercy Pocket likely going on to Puppy in an attempt to kind of contest that self-same Soldier 76. But what value it will find, we'll have to wait and see.
It's going to be a big fight between Sandbox God and Puppy, as Arkenspire already getting hit by the anti-nades. It stays alive just barely, as it's going to be a big hit out of Rat Rumpus. KCMX has a giant opportunity to keep pushing forward. Arkenspire looking for a long-range hook, looking for a miracle there as the Resurrect comes through. It's an even 5v5 with KCMX holding its way on the point. They'll tick it up, but Crimson Whelps are holding a bit long range. That's really going to benefit KCMX, especially Saturn at 70% ult charge. Looking for even more Rat Rumpus on the Venture, can hardly even contest the aerial dominance of Saturn. Big hook takes down Saturn. The copy no longer on the field, but with Puppy and Chibi both falling in a massive two-man ante, it's only a matter of time for Crimson Whelp before the retreat has to come through. Well, Arkenspire, though, does land the hook, but can't find it in the end.
Yeah, I mean, they need to play solely for Ark-inspired hooks, unfortunately, when you're playing a comp that is Rotor based. But if she doesn't really find anything, well, they're left in a bit of hot water, like Saturn just microwaving Chibi.
Saturn absolutely cooking the Mercy, and I mean, Sandbox God is just fine. Sandbox God just found like a high ground, the sniper tower on Rust. Like, this is a little bit disgusting.
Yeah, Juno just celebratory, really. It was knocking everybody back. That's Kaiju Core continuing to show this same level of dominance. Nano Boost, Orbital Ray up next. Crimson Whelps, again, they need an early hook, but so far they just haven't been finding them.
They've been finding some hooks. I mean, Sandbox God, who needs the keyboard? I've got crouch and sometimes swaying left to right and dodges the hook! Oh my goodness, Sandbox God was tiptoeing around, but somehow dodges the hook. Ark-inspired gonna be the first to fall into double kill missiles out of Yucca. And there you go. And I think that's another DC. I think yeah, that's another DC.
What it even matter though is 10% left to go. Like, we'll have to wait and see. We go pause again. We'll be nice. We'll let Felix Felicis play the rest out. But I gotta say, one issue that we're seeing pretty consistently is when Crimson Whelps try and play this style, they often group up really hard. And with a Mercy, it means that if a nade comes through, purples, even just one, but more often multiple, there's no cleanse for it. You just have to wait it out. And they try that when they walk with the Juno ult, they just get flattened. The counter ult from Kaiju Core is fantastic. And of course, we see the double missiles come through to close it out. So unfortunately, the comp not really working out for them as much as they would have liked. But now they're going to have to try and finish it out as we are going back into the action. It means that no Diva, no Felix Felicis, I believe, is what I'm being told. Yeah, so Kaiju Core, sorry. 4 players, but only 10% left to go.
And a nano visor coming through. The Mercy just having to run away from this. It's terrifying, but just barely survives. Oh, not if Tangerine has anything to say about it. The Doom Fist, there goes the Kiriko cleanse. Great focusing beam. Saturn landing the double kill. And KCMX defying the astronomical odds. Ha ha ha. Taking map number 1.
Yeah, that was about what we expected. I think we spoke earlier about Crimson Whelps maybe hoping they learned from losing, but it seems like Kaiju Core have learned about the same, and they're applying those lessons in a pretty deadly fashion here. I mean, Sandbox God, I think you mentioned it, you don't even need keyboard at this point. You're more accurate just taking your hand off the tool entirely, just focusing on that mouse aim, and unfortunate play of the game, not many final blows found, but the job is done all the same. That is a quick and clean map win.
Quick and clean sure is one way to call it, as KCMX had quite a bit of trouble with the internet of Felix Felicis, just back and forth and back and forth. We'll have to see if they can get anyone to sub in who might have even a bit better Wi-Fi connection, or to see if Felix can hit up their ISP and ask what's going on, besties, as we go into hybrids next. And as you said, this is the first of 2, so it's easier to get the reverse sweep done, but also you are now in reverse sweeps territory.
Okay, map pick has come through, and I gotta say, normally hybrids, it's a map type that favors long-range hit scan, as well. I was a little bit worried for Crimson Whelps, considering what performance we saw from Saturn. I think they have been able to dodge the worst of it, though, but we'll have to see exactly what we've picked after this break.
Yeah, we're gonna hop to the break, and when we come back, we'll see what could be the final map of this match. So don't you go anywhere, because we'll be right back. NA production has finally been defeated. Welcome back to the Kunoichi Kosmos Rising playoffs. We've had some substitutions to make up for the connection issues. And now we go into the second map with Crimdra Whelps down 1, looking to stay alive in the upper bracket, as KCMX up 1 has made quite a number of switches.
Yeah.
And Yoshi, sorry.
Oh no, yeah, I mean the roles are almost everywhere, right? We've got Yoshi on DPS now, Sandbox God moving to support, I believe, and Hyuka moving from support to tank. So it's all a little bit kerfuffled up here, but don't you worry. We've still got Assassin on main role, so it should all be okay for Kaiju. I jest a little bit, but so these changes might be a bit of an issue for them. Obviously, I'm not sure how much they've scrimmed this, and this many changes doesn't inspire a crazy amount of confidence. Really, you would just love to have a one-stop shop solution to a problem like this, obviously. But we'll have to tell when we actually move on to our map, of course, that was picked before the break, and that is going to be King's Row. So don't you worry, K-Wing, it's going to get even more British up in here.
It really is. It's going to get so British up in here.
Can you Adam and Eve it?
You told me during the break that you had a list
of
all the fun British slang. And I'm just interested to see, A, what drove writing a list of all the fun slang that you know? And B, can I hear it?
I'll try and list as many as I can before you get cheesed off, but you never really know, you know? So we'll see. It'll come out as we go.
Cheesed off?
You don't like cheesed off?
Cheesed off?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, cheesed off is like annoyed. King's Row, let's go.
Yeah, King's Row.
Home of very important things, like a theater that I used to work at, actually, and a couple watering holes along the way. We're also going to be the battleground in which we have one of these sides try and battle for survival. That's the Crimdra Whelps. KCMX looking to close things out here. They'll be starting off on the defense.
Did you say you used to work at one of these theaters?
Yeah, the theater right outside Attacker Spawn I used to work at.
That's a real place?
So it's not 1-1, but it's Piccadilly Circus in London. And right off of Piccadilly Circus, right where Attacker Spawn is, there's a road called Shaftesbury Avenue. And on the first theatre on Shaftesbury Avenue, because there are a couple, is a theatre called the Lyric Theatre, where I used to work, and it was terrible.
Spectreon lore drops.
Yeah.
As you look at Kaiju Core's sort of composition, it's a pretty it's a bit of changes, but it's a sort of standard rush style defense composition. Got the May, got the everything.
The Venture's a bit of a wrinkle, but it still was going to function basically the same way. Just crunch them as they walk through the choke, as they're trying to do now.
Yeah, and there goes the crunch. Arkenspire able to stay up and alive on this Roadhog. Puppy really sticking with the Widowmaker. Actually going to roll out a spawn on it. Not going to take any swaps immediately. And to be fair, Kaiju Core doesn't really have a lot to deal with. Well, I was going to say it doesn't have a lot to deal with the Widow at range, but it's just going to be Yoshi jumping on top of the Widow, getting Kaiju Core the win.
Yoshi, fresh off the boat, but chock full of beans so far. Huge kill from the KCMX FDPS, and now Crimdra Whelps. Got to look at the time bank again, because it's already disintegrating.
That it is, already a minute gone. A big hook, but a even bigger heal out of the Kaiju Core squad, keeping that Venture up and alive. Now Rat Rump is taken to this guy's trying to keep Arkenspire alive by getting that Ramatra off them, but can't really do that. Now Rat Rumpus and the rest of Crimdra are just in trouble.
Crimdra just faffing around the choke a little bit here, not really able to crack through the defense. Another shake of the stick now, and with a pick like that, maybe there's a better chance here.
Oh, goodness gracious. Tangerine gonna be taken down first, and that's a big hit there onto the side of Crimdra Whelps. A great pick by Yoshi, but going to get taken down in the middle of the ult. Kitsune Rush thrown in very late into this fight. Arkenspire close to their ultimate. Might end up using it to get this Ramatra away, but no, won't have it in time. And now Crimdra Whelps, half the time bank gone.
And that's an ult reset as well for Arani, who unfortunately has been a bit brass monkeys throughout this series. Really needs to be warming up as we get into the second half of this attack. Time decreasing, ult advantage in the favor of KC.
Now a minute 40 left. Blizzard thrown in as well as the orbital strike. And it's just going to be a really big play out of Yoko with the Nemesis form.
Yeah, such a dominant fight there. Is a huge swing coming through from KCMX. Crimdra Whelps now getting lower and lower in time. They've got maybe 2 more tries. It's really going to be squeaky bum time sooner or later.
Oh, no. I actually do know that one. Rat Rump is going to get taken down. A really great Ravenous Vortex coming out from Yucca. It's now 4v4 as Tangerine will fall. Santa's gotten in trouble as both supports gone for Kaiju Core. Crimdra Whelps has a big opportunity. They'll take down Yucca and they'll actually get full position on the point.
Neither team's minted now either. They spent so much. It's just the Bob that's going to be coming through into this next fight, and there's no chance of recontest. And on the second phase of King's Row, it's so linear that ultimate just won't find the same amount of value. So Crimdra Whelps have been able to crack through finally. KCMX now have to try and figure out how to play now that they're fully skinned.
Yoshi on the Venture is not moving. KCMX, oh, now there we go. Finally rolling out of spawn, but it's a 4v5. Well, now 4v4 as KCMX finds the pick onto Chibi. Is going to be holding right in this archway. Such a deadly place to hold. And Arkenspire just in a lot of trouble. Ravenous Vortex right behind them. Sandlock goes down. Big hook. Forces out the Nemesis form from the Ramatra. Kitsune Rush thrown in over top. This is a scary place to be for any KCMX members. But there goes the shield. Arkenspire has to go back to get some healing, but their healers are gone courtesy of Saturn and Yoshi. And it's Crimdra Whelps. Well, Crimdra Whelps taking 2. It's Rat Rumpus on the Pharah. Actually getting it done.
Bit of a barnyard in that fight, but when all's said and done, it's Crimdra Whelps who get a second fight win here on King Zero and keep that payload trundling forward. In terms of the check marks, a couple are coming online for both these sides, but if you are the Whelps, you'd really love this fight to be a little bit slower, so you can just charge into that barrage, that whole hog in time.
And those 2 ultimates are going to be incredibly important. Whole hog just about 10 away, but Saturn's going to take off Puppy's head there. Taking it off. And now Saturn and the rest of Kaiju are just going to keep rolling through. They actually do end up using the ultimate to really get that fight decisively. Get in some trouble. I don't know. I mean, Kaiju is still definitely in an advantageous position.
That old chestnut of a Saturn headshot, just these picks have been brutal whenever they've been on the sniper. I mean, it's going to be a bit rougher if you're not just instantly finding a one-tap because you don't have the damage, but you've got the check mark to make up for it in theory. Oh, what a hook!
What a hook! Sandbox God gonna go down. Yoshi needs his pick. Oh, Yoshi finds both the supports. Kaiju Core. Yoshi is going to die to the Bob in the end, but both supports gone for Crimdra means that they aren't going to be able to stay there long.
The Archaeologist just rinsing the backline again. Crimdra Whelps now going to be stuck in the choke. That's so much harder to attack. They're going through, but they just have to spend so heavily to even take the space.
Saturn in trouble. 20 HP remaining. It's going to be Yucca taken down. Everyone pulls back, but Yucca just can't get there in time. Big hook onto Tangerine, but it's actually Arkenspire going to go down. Trading blows as Rat Rump is going to go down. Sandbox God being traded out. But now the spawn's starting to turn in terms of who's favored. It's Yoshi versus the Lucio. It's Yoshi versus Chibi. He's going to be able to come out on top. It's just barely staying alive as Chibi. Holding on.
Nobody touches!
Didn't touch in the end! No way! Yoshi's able to knock Chibi off of the point. And Chibi just didn't touch in the end. That's brutal.
I was so sure that after Arkenspire took a bit more than a butcher's at Sandbox God, then it would be a cap for Crimdra Whelps, but I mean, Yoshi, like I mentioned, chock full of beans, absolutely frags their mind out, and a lovely drill dash timing as well to just, you know, nudge them away from the objective as it slowly trundled away from them. I mean, 85.69 meters, not the worst push in the world, but you'd have loved to get it around the corner if it must stop at the second phase of the map. Again, right outside that watering hole, but oh, that's heartbreaking for the Whelps. Now onto their own defense. They look to start with a Pharaoh, Doomfist as well, play something a little bit more mobile, a little bit more active.
Yeah, they're going to be playing very aggressively here. They're really going to be pushing through. And for Kaiju Core, not changing too much, keeping Saturn on the Widowmaker, but I think for Saturn, it might just end up being a first little peek out the door and then just popping right back in. As the doors open, Crimdra Whelps needing the stop.
Yeah, no shots found so far. Looks to be all tickety-boo for the Crimdra Whelps, but this is kind of where their comp should begin to function as Casey walk further and further into the objective.
Oh, wow. Saturn going to get jumped on by Arkenspire. Right. Rotating around. Saturn still finds the pick onto Arani and onto Rat Rumpus. Somehow the Doomfist in their face comes out on top.
Yeah, just able to wangle such an early pick, and that's going to mean that it's going to be a ginormous time bank heading into the second phase of the map. Remember, you don't even need a full time, but they're looking like they're going for the recontest.
Yeah, they are, but it's only Arkenspire getting the recontest at the initial, as Yoshi just going to dispatch the two that push in, and now they can't hold in the archway, especially not if they lose that Kiriko able to escape. but in a lot of trouble is Crimdra. They've only got a couple fights left.
Yeah, absolute yonks on the clock. And as you mentioned, what, a fight and a half left to go? They really are starved for chances here. Are the Crimdra Whelps? They're going to need to perform perfectly for way too long.
Yeah, they are up Crap Creek without a paddle right now. And for Kaiju Core in great position, coming up to a lot of ultimates, but Arcanspire's going to jump on top of Saturn. Yoshi going incredibly aggressively, going to dive out, not finding any picks in the end. 92% to the ultimate. Saturn now switching on to the Echo, as there goes the Archway hold.
Echo here makes sense. They're fighting so early though. They're going in again.
Yoshi into the back line. Oh, it's Arani very low. Finds the pick of Yoshi. Tangerine with 2. And that just might be... Oh, won't be it. A great use of Arcanspire's ultimate to just get out of dodge and stay alive. 1 fight left.
Good discipline not to go back in. I know it's the first instinct of pretty much every Doomfist. Go somewhere safe and then try and touch when necessary. We see how all of KC is trying to take the space, push forward. But right now, any engage from Crimdra Whelps would be incredibly risky.
And they have to go. They find the pick early on to Yoshi. And there goes the Blizzard. It freezes up Yucca with the ultimate, with the Annihilation. That's such a crucial Blizzard from Puppy. And it's doing... I mean, Puppy, it's doing so well right now.
Yeah,
Just
no.
what an incredible one.
It feels like every single time they get a pick, then, you know, Bob's your uncle. They can just convert that fight. It's when they don't get those picks, when they get cracked against, where KC can really begin to open up the throttle.
Big bash onto Crimdra. Not twice. A certified Kunoichi C9. I can't believe we only got that once. We had it happen twice. Out from Crimdra Whelp. That is a... Oh, no. Crimdra Whelp can get sent down into the lower bracket. Their run not over yet, but in quite some trouble.
I'd say they're in a spot of bother, yeah, and the absolute opposite for KCMX. It's just been absolutely smooth sailing for them. I mean, just like absolute treacle they've been moving through. Not really an issue, bar the connection problems, of course, and other than that, it's just been... I'm at a loss for words, really. Everything's going their way. Everything's coming up heads for them.
You have to be making some of these up.
I'm not. I promise I'm not.
These are too whimsical. These are too, like... These are too Mary Poppins for me. Like, these are it's too Mary Poppins. I do not believe that those are all actually... Okay. Doesn't matter. Keep going with the cast. Doesn't matter. We're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have another match of the Rising series ready and waiting. Stop it. I think we'll be going down to the lower bracket to be deciding who is going to go down to the lower bracket finals. Just after this, so don't go anywhere. Don't change the Twitch channel, because we'll be right back after we pop out for a spot of tea.
Cash and the ticket is yours. Cash and the ticket is yours. Yo. Cash and the ticket is yours. Cash and the ticket is yours. Cash and the ticket is yours. Yo. Cash and the ticket is yours. Yours.
welcome back to the Kunoichi Kosmos Rising playoffs, where we are actually going to be running with the winners bracket. We are up in Happy Town right now, as these two teams are just one step away from booking their ticket to the grand finals. It's Kunoichi Kosmos, it's Kaiju Core MX, and it is Lava Lilies Rising. And now, I don't want to talk about bias here, but I will say that one of our production team staff is a member of Lava Lilies. It's our producer, Echo, or at least was.
We would never be biased. I have never been biased in a broadcast ever. Except for the 5 times I've cast my own uni team and the 2 times I've left casting my uni team to play for my uni team. So that's my disclosure. That's our disclosure out the way. We won't be biased in any way, shape, or form unless you PayPal us like 30 pence. And then we'll be as biased as you want, realistically. So that's how it's going to be. Of course, it's going to be Lava Lilies, who are also, I believe, coming off a 2-0, beating the Paw Patrol. I'm so sorry, I'm forgetting the team name. Let's see. It's something paw or pup based, and unfortunately, because I have a phobia of dogs, they all just kind of slide off my brain. Here we go, paws out. Sorry, my mistake. Either way, it was a 2-0 there as well. So here, now, we have a chance to get a pretty functional idea of who we probably have going forward, going further, considering these probably will be the 2 strongest teams. You know, obviously there's always time for either pause out or the Crimdra Whelps get a lower bracket run all the way through the bracket, but we'll see exactly how likely that is maybe in the next game, the game after that. This one, as K-Wing mentioned, is for a stop in the finals. You'd really like to get the free berth there, but if not, there's going to be another life for both these 2 teams.
That there is. I was totally paying attention and not trying to figure out how much 30 pence was. 40 cents, by the way, for our American viewers. It's 40 cents. So, you know, if you want to throw 4 dimes at my forehead, I guess, sure, I'll be biased for your team. And also continuing the complete comedy of errors, that disclosure was nonsense. Echo did not play for Lava Lilies Rising. Echo played for Fable Rising, which I heard quietly mumbled into my ear about 1 minute ago. But as we go in to look at these rosters to see what and who we've got playing here, we've got the Kaiju Core MX lineup. It's the one you know and love, the one without any serious connection issues. It's Yoshi Saturn, Yaku with the Tangerine Sandbox God backup support lineup. And there you go. And then, Spec, we've got their competitors, Lava Lilies Rising.
Let's take a gander at their roster. Gonna be Caramel, Pasta, Tycho, and Queen Bee out playing. I think most of this roster have been playing together for a while. Off the top of my head, I believe Caramel's joined a little bit more on the recent side of things. I think everybody else has been a unit for, donkey's years, but have to wait and see. Either way, this is, again, that kind of longevity of roster that kind of is bred by having such a tight community, right? It's something we've been bringing up time and time again, and that's going to be a huge benefit in their favor. I think it has been a pretty successful team in the past in these Rising tournaments as well. So as for who wins here, you know, in theory, it was Kaiju Core who won in the last Clatcher, but it could kind of go either way, and especially as I believe, because we are through into the first of 3s, there's a little bit more runway for whichever team starts off on the wrong foot to accelerate.
And it looks like, for a last minute, we do have Felix Felicis coming back on the Diva for Kaiju Core, returning in the last moments in Kaiju Core's hour of need. As you look to one of these teams moving on to grand finals, I'm excited to see, number one, if Kaiju Core returning to Felix Felicis to their main tank being their main tank is going to make a difference. And number two, if poor Felix's internet can survive the trip.
Say a prayer if you believe in any sort of religion. If you don't, toss a coin towards your witch, I suppose. We'll have to wait and see. Either way, it's going to be an Elio's start again, exactly the same as the previous. It means we have a decent idea of what the Kaiju core comps are going to be. You know, probably a Widowmaker on Ruins. Outside of that, I believe it was an Echo Soldier DPS line. Again, Juno's going to be essentially a must-play. The hero is just really too good and should be nerfed. But we'll have to wait and see.
That we will, as Lava Lilies Rising and Kaiju Core. It looks like we might be taking a pause for some server disputes as we're on Western servers. Yep, looks like we're going to be restarting very quickly with the proper server now. Going on to US East, of course, East Coast being the best coast out of all of them. Rhymes don't make things true. As we load in,
East is best generally. A little bit of UK specific thing, but East London is the best part. But no, I think it's very fair that we want to play on West or East Coast. Sorry, I think Taiko specifically from Lava Lilies Rising is from the European Union, and you know, as somebody who's played on 220 ping, it's really not ideal, especially if you're playing a projectile character. So it is going to end up being a server swap by the looks of things. Lava Lilies Rising looks to start off on a monkey composition. It's going to play very strongly around the nano boost cycles that Queen Bee can administer, whereas KCMX is going to look to hope and to mark those guys play a little bit more reactively, I'd wager.
That they will. KCMX on the Diva versus the Dive. Echo and the Pharah in the air. That'll be the matchup I'm very interested in, is whether or not Saturn can weather the storm that's going to be brought by Caramel, or if this Pharah is going to really struggle against the Echo. Neptune Felicity is looking to take the high ground away from Lava Lilies Rising. Kaiju Core looking to take some position on the point. The Sandbox God's going to get caught in an unideal position. Now, PCMX rotating onto point. It's mainly Felix Felicity's as Taiko collapsing into the back. Yoshi gonna get taken down, but Costa goes in too deep. Trades going back and forth. It will be KCMX taking points, so they're free to stall as long as they can. Caramel barely staying alive, just looking to escape at this point as Lava Lilies defeat a retreat.
Yeah, and relatively dominant as well means that there's no real chance for Lava Lilies to charge into ults, no really long fight. So back into the neutral, 20% already accrued, and it's playing this kind of slow style, just restricting the movements of your opposition that Casey's comp is just so good at.
And it is, and with all of these characters, they can do something to movement that can boop them around. Queen Bee immediately gonna get taken down, traded out for Yoshi, but with no Ana, Lava Lilies are in a bit of a holding pattern.
That they are, just really struggling right now. Unfortunately, it's just been choked out by the looks of things. As a dive deep from Pasta, but there's not really much help.
Not much help and not much there, as he just has to jump away. And for Lava Lilies, struggling on the ults, Tangerine and Taiko are about even for the orbital strike. Pasta's in some trouble. Oh, the blink just goes awry for Sorry. A pulse bomb goes wide, barely able to stay alive, and there goes the barrage and big anti-nade over top. But it's going to be KCMX coming out very well from that fight, but it's a big investment.
It is pretty spenny, all things considered. Journal, always huge. Barrage, not something that you're going to treat as pocket change at least. Lava Lilies Rising over to the Diva. I don't think this is a much better adaptation, but whether it'll actually get them any more victory or not, we'll have to wait and see.
That we will. As Caramel able to help out, get the assist onto Saturn. Starting to take down starting to take down Kaiju Core piece by piece as the point starting to flip over. No signs just yet. That's going to be combined with the Venture Ultimate Nano and the Orbital Strike from Lava Lilies. Over top, Diva Bomb on the point. It's going to take down the duplicate, and it's going to DMAC Pasta. That's actually a very high value bomb out of Felix Felicity's, as there is going to be the turnaround. Kaiju Core will take round 1, barring some sort of hero play from Sari. Sari actually going to take out Tangerine, but that will be all she wrote.
100-0, got a little bit closer once we saw the Diva come out from Pasta, but at the end of the day, KCMX looked to continue their dominance that we saw in the group stage and that we saw in their previous matchup. Lava Lilies Rising. We saw some functional ideas from them, but unfortunately it just wasn't enough to really find the success that they were looking for. It is worth mentioning how strong momentum is, especially on a type like Control. So now they get a fresh sheet here, a fresh shake of the stick. Then maybe starting on this Diva now will give them a little bit more success. Much closer sightlines here on Lighthouse. It's going to be a lot easier for this Tracer to try and find value. So if we have a Tracer duel between, say, Sori and Saturn, that is what you really want to keep your eyes peeled on. And Symmetra for the TBL at spawn and the British Fighter immediately afterwards.
It's going to be a Tracer 1v1 out of the Saturn, and Sari. Kaiju Core with the Juno able to take early position on point. As Sari's going to get taken down. Sari trying to go down mid is going to get completely burst down, but Tangerine gone. She in some trouble over on the side, has to dig through, get some overshields, putting some damage in onto Caramel, but no picks from Kaiju Core. A little lost as Lava Lilies will capitalize.
I mean, Tangerine is always going to be more vulnerable than their counterpart just because of the Lucio versus the Brigitte. Tycho's packs are so valuable in keeping Queen Bee active, and the same could not be said from that Lucio, so that could be an issue that Lava Lilies Rising continue to exploit.
Very aggressive out of Yoshi, going to emerge in the back. Wow, that's aggressive. I mean, Tycho's gonna go down, but oh, Yoshi. Ooh, it's a 3v3 now on the point as KCMX starts to cap up. But now Queen Bee and the rest of Lava Lily starting to roll back onto point, looking to retake that center as the mech goes down, but Queen Bee gonna get taken out. He trades and trades and trades, but so far it looks like Lava Lily's
Asta's gonna get D-Mech.
Asta, yeah, going to get D-Mech, but it'll just be the bomb and the remech for the Diva. And that'll seal its deal for Lava Lilies, taping it around 50.
Yeah, this time the shoe's on the other foot. Lava Lilies Rising are the one. And now it's Kaiju Core who are on the outside looking in. Ults had a bit of an advantage for the Lava Lilies. Yeah, I mean, that orbital ray especially could be humongous here, but they could lead with an early dupe just to keep their opponents off balance.
The early dupe from Caramel. Big duplicate on to the Diva, starting to roll out, but there goes the venture. Yoshi gonna get the D-Mech onto Caramel, but Caramel doesn't even care. He's gonna take out Sandbox Daddy and Saturn, and now Lava Lilies, despite seemingly being on the back foot, will just flip it around.
Yeah, Juno comes through a smidge late. The D-Mech is obviously found on Pasta, which makes pushing with it so much harder. But at the end of the day, that ultimate is just crazy powerful. And a lovely double from Caramel as well means that KCMX now in their last fight here.
Oh, Sandbox Dad does find the pick onto Tycho, and it's going to be the boop on. It's going to be the Diva kill on Sari. The bomb will take them down. And somehow Lava Lilies drop that in spectacular fashion. What a great play from Sandbox God.
I mean, that was a full 9 Kingpin strike in bowling terms there. Tycho straight into the center of the void, and finally a foot in the door here for KCMX. They're going to struggle snowballing this. Their ults are a bit awkward here, but the Juno ult will be a great way to start.
The Juno ult would be a great way to start. This Pulse Bomb from Saturn could be massive. It's a great one clip as Sari just goes into the corner. Pulse Bomb out, looking for the break, but can't find her. As a great amount of shielding. Queen Bee also in some trouble, but able to escape behind the brig. Boop goes in, and it's gonna be a great chase. Tiger's gonna find one, Tiger's gonna find two. In fact, as the orbital strike goes out from Tangerine, looking for the brig, but not even the roundhouse kick that can take her down. Now Tangerine and Now Panda just moving into the back, trying to support Felix on this Diva, but with that focusing beam from the Echo, actually it's gonna be Sandbox God again finding a pick onto the Brig. Looking for blood, and he'll find it onto Queen Bee. That's both the supports. Nearly takes Pasta into the void. Sandbox God is going to go down, but their sacrifice will not be in vain for Kaiju Corps, as now in pole position. Pasta going to get D-Mech as Saturn gets taken down. Diva Bomb on the point for great use of the burrow from Yoshi from the Venture. Has the ultimate, might look for it, going to throw it out with not much HP. He's going to absolutely dish out the damage onto the baby Diva. Has the burrow again, but this entire time has just been, oh no! Felix Lucis gets booped into the well by the Brig, but Yoshi going to find the boop onto Tycho into the pit. There goes the Pulse Bomb trying to find the baby Diva. It's the baby Diva beat a Tracer. As there goes the Tracer with the Pulse Bomb. Can't find the pick. Pasta going to get taken down. It's just Jaggers now. For Lava Lily's rising fight has gone on for so incredibly long. But in the end, as the beat goes down, so too will Lava Lily's Kaiju Corps will take first map.
It gets a hell of a lot closer here, but unfortunately these fights taking so long just meant that Lava Lily's Rising didn't have a chance to reset to take the one advantage fight that would have flipped the point in their favor and allowed us to go to Ruins. Instead, KCMX just run the time bank down, and when all is said and done, while it was 2-0, I mean, obviously that Lighthouse was just so competitive. Let's see, probably one of the boops here I'd expect from Tycho. As it was really strong point for the Brigitte in general. Unfortunately, just not enough to find all the success.
I mean, oh my goodness, that was such a good play. Such a good boop out of the break. What a chaotic last fight at the end there. You had, I think that last fight must have lasted like a full minute of back and forth fighting, and to be fair, Kaiju Corps couldn't give that fight up. So Lava Lily's really prolonging that fight and keeping it going for a bit longer than it should have. Might have cost them in the end, as they never really got a clean break.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you there. I feel like there were a couple times they had advantages, weren't able to close them out. It's just what happens when it comes to these really chaotic fights like this. Just where, you know, it's just every single person for themselves, and it just does often, you know, boil down to who hits more shots, who's able to find a little bit more value out of those abilities rather than big macro ideas. And, you know, in this case, it was KC. If we played that round another 5 times, though, I feel like it could have gone 5 different ways. But, you know, in our universe, this is the eventuality we're stuck with. Obviously, it's going to be Lava Lily's Rising with next map pick, and a great start in this series for KCMX. One step towards that grand final appearance.
Yeah, and where else would we be going for map 2 other than King's Row? That's going to be our second map on the day. Kaiju Corps looking to really take a decisive hold, as if we go to 2-0, it might just be curtains for Lava Lilies, as it's very difficult to come back. It's possible, but it's quite difficult.
It could be all over Red Rover. We're going to have to wait and see, but another King's Row on the docket for us. Hopefully this time we get a chance to see that third stretch of the map, because first and second, I think we got our fair share of in that previous. We got to see exactly how competent, well-drilled Kaiju Corps were on that map, but the third area map does play a little bit differently. You don't really have flanks you can take. Those sightlines as well, brutal, absolutely brutal. So long range hit scan going to be even more valuable there. Just gonna have to wait and see though. All we can really do right now is make these kind of guesses. I think it's worth kind of noting that the kind of style that Kaiju Corps like to play is a lot more convertible. I think the Winston that we saw Lava Lily start on, obviously it's pretty strong on Ilios, but if I try and play it in King's Row, especially through second point, I really will struggle.
I think so too. It looks like we've got some swaps coming through on the side of KCMX. So let's just see what exactly is going on with these rosters. We've got Hollow Can't Aim subbing in on the Lucio. We're going back to the nature is healing for Kaiju Core, and that's from after Felix's unfortunate DC issues at the top of the first match. We've now figured that out, sorted it through, and we've now got Hollow Can't Aim right back on the Lucio, on the main support.
Time is a flat circle. What can we say? It all is going to go back to what it was in the end. Seems like it's a bit of an extra return here, but shouldn't make a crazy amount of change. I think often main support players, while they have a huge amount of value to the team, especially in terms of the intangibles, they often maybe aren't the difference between winning and losing, compared to a DPS just killing 5 people. So it can be a bit of a slept-on role, but also it can be a role where it's really hard to see how swapping main supports can really create or define much individual impact. You think through previous teams historically, how many have had substitute main supports other than Owl Season 1, which doesn't count because they were 12-man rosters?
Owl Season 1 doesn't count for anything. Owl Season 1 was in 2017. I was in high school in 2017. Just in high school in 2017. I was about to graduate from college.
I was 13, I think, then.
Oh my goodness. Are
Yeah.
you older than me?
I'm 20.
I hate that.
I really don't know what to tell you, to be honest. I've been told that I sound more mature than my years, but also I'm not mature at all, so I think somebody was lying to me then. Carmen Core. I keep saying Carmen Core. I know it's Kaiju Core. Kaiju Core starting on the defense here. Again, it's going to be that Lucio Juno backline. Lots of speed utility for Felix Felicis and relatively little else. Not that much backline survivability, not that much healing throughput. So they've got to hit first and hit fast if they want to find success with this. Lava Lily's Rising, if they slow the game down with a Pharah, could be in with a pretty strong chance of victory.
Yeah, with the Pharah and the Widow, they're looking to be slow, they're looking to be methodical, but there's the Tracer of Saturn already fighting the pick onto Queen B. It's a quick one. Sorry, just really can't hold these angles. The Ramatra already putting pressure on that high ground. And now for Kaiju Core, looking... Saturn's still staying there, just waiting for anyone to land on this hotel and just take them down again. I can't see the first second. There's no way.
Oh yeah, it's worked for me before. That's a free scaling into the backline, but oh, flies and does no damage. You got a back.
Yeah, you hate to see that. Hollow in some trouble. Gonna get taken down by Sorry on the highest of high grounds over top. Now Saturn just jumps right
No way. That's
Sorry. There's no way that works twice. And it did. It worked twice, even after it failed another time. Tangerine gonna fire in some more healing in the back line. Yoshi gonna go in a bit too deep, chasing down Queen B, who get taken in the end. Saturn is just the best Tracer.
Yeah, I mean, it was such a good fight as well for Lava Lilies. You found the pick onto Hollow Can't Aim with your Widowmaker. All you need to do is maintain numbers advantage. You'll trade out, win it out. But just traded it back does Saturn, and looking to win out the 1v1 now as well.
Has found Sorry on the Tracer, but it's gonna be a stray rocket from Caramel to take down Saturn. And now the Orisa out of Pasta as well, who's been on that for a little bit. We just had so much interesting stuff going on that it's been the last thing on my mind as Pasta just tanks through the blizzard of Yoshi. And, well, with the Orbital Strike, that'll seal the deal.
Yeah, the Juno was somewhat surplus to requirements even, but at the end of the day, with Casey having used their own, it won't matter too much in the end. Cap is going to come through in very respectable time, and Lava Lily's Rising will get that cart rolling forward. No changes made just yet, but oh, that's a lie. We've got Yoshi now on the cap rather than the mate. More pressure onto Caramel.
Ooh, an early ult from Kaiju Corps, pushing in with the Annihilation from Felix, going deep into the backline, looking for this far, going to find them. And that'll be the first pick, is now they're going to have to back up and just, they have free reign to this archway.
I love that disengage. Unfortunately, we just don't see Caramel disengage far enough, because if they did, it would have been very, very easy for Lava Lilies to punish as soon as that Annihilation ended. Now, though, Assassin's again in the backline looking for another one clip.
Throws in the Pulse Bomb to land it, finds the pick on the Pharah, looking for the Juno. Combo after combo. Saturn just deadly on the Tracer.
Yeah, sticks the Brig Shield, and unfortunately Tycho's not quick enough to stick it into a wall. Also, that ability has just been nerfed right now, so it doesn't really work with Pulse. I'm sorry for your Brig mains, but either way, Saturn's able to capitalize on top of it, and that's going to be Lava Lily's Rising time bank now dwindling to just 3 minutes.
Yeah, 3 minutes, and being held in the archway could easily drain your time, especially when you lose Sari immediately, and Queen Bee is just getting harassed the entire way. Yoshi gonna find the pick on that, and another one onto the back line, and it's just all the same as the Fan the Hammer takes down Pasta. Lava Lilies start to get some deja vu.
Yeah, great work from them as they just go early. Again, KC just really, really good at responding to this pressure. They've got another Juno ult online as well. A flank Deadeye will be spotted out, but Saturn has recall force as well. So it seems like most of the shenanigans have been caught. Oh, what a push from Pasta!
Pasta just finds Yoshi on the off angle and completely takes him down. I mean, that is the easiest kill of any Orissa's life there, but a great heads up play to make it happen is now Lava Lilies just have free reign to push through, and they will take that in droves as they actually do split up Kaiju Corps for a little bit. And Sari on the long angle to take out Hollow now just is completely uncontested as the Deadeye comes through to regain some space for Kaiju Corps. It won't be any picks, but it is a massive help to get Lava Lilies into a retreat and keep Kaiju Corps on the point. Now they're ready to push through.
You need more than that, though, from an Orbital Ray. Tycho's so close to theirs as well, and with these rockets, might just have charged it up.
Anti onto Felix. Big Stick is gonna take out the back line. Saturn just roars back in with a 3-piece order up.
I mean, that's perfect timing. If Saturn goes any later, then Lava is right. Their check marks to begin to leverage. The backline is going to be a little bit more split, so you can't double kill them with just the one ult. And your own backline is kind of under threat, but no, just hits it 99% to the Orbital Ray. Same to the Terra Surge. You know, practical upshot is that Lava is Rising have plenty of ultimates for this upcoming fight, but only 30 seconds to win it out.
They're gonna throw out the orbital beam, but it's just gonna be in the back line. And as they have to push forward, a great disengage already. It's gonna damage boost some of their longer ranged heroes as it expires. No picks immediately onto Kaiju Corps, and Kaiju Corps does hold the Annihilation from Felix. They're gonna pop it. There goes the Blizzard. Felix able to escape just in time, and will take out Queen Bee, but traded for Tangerine. No supports on the ground. Felix getting taken down with a bomb on the point means that Lava Lilies escape to live another day.
An extension of time bank, yeah, it's expensive from them, but it sounds like you can just solve a problem with excess firepower for ultimates, getting them over the line here. Just a nano boost, though, to invest, and you might struggle finding as much value with it. No really strong target, either for the nano boost or to be the recipient of its ire here, so Lava Lilies Rising might need to get creative.
Yeah, the Nano might have to go, might go onto the Mei, might go onto the Orisa, just to try and charge up one of these ultimates a bit quicker. But it's gonna be Tycho getting taken down as Saturn will trade for the Juno. In a lot of trouble is Pasta. Stays alive, just getting the healing for their team. Caramel, actually close to the Blizzard, has been charging up incredibly quickly. Nano Boost still hanging on as Queen Bee just waiting for the opportunity to engage. And there goes the push in. There goes the Nano onto the Orisa, holding firm in front of a Deadeyeing Cassidy. Not exactly the smartest place to be in early Kaiju Core cleaning house. But did they leave too much time?
There's no time for a touch. I'm gonna get that out the way. They're pushing forward towards the spawn as well. Lovely.
Alright.
Towards the plant. Queen Bee gets overtime started. The Blizzard will maybe buy them some space, but what can they actually get done?
They throw in the Terra Surge, and it actually helps take out Hollow Cannon. Barrage over the top. Saturn throws in the barrage, but just can't get a darn thing going. That's incredible. And Tycho throws in the orbital barrage. What an incredible turnaround for Lava Lilies.
They're getting more distance, but will they be able to complete the map? Those are two very different things here. Just a bomb for Felix Felicis to burn time, but that could be a huge tool hit to maybe force a C9.
It could, but a great wall still doesn't save Tycho on the high ground, taken out by the bomb. Big loss, and it will be just not enough in the end. As the Bob does actually, whoa, sorry, taking out two. Is that going to be enough? The DMAC onto Felix. Queen Bee goes down. It's just the May trying to stay alive for this point. Saturn in the air, in some trouble. Going to get taken down by Sorry. The point's still rolling out. I don't think anyone can get a touch in. How did they do it? Hang on, Lava Lilies. Pulling miracle after miracle out of a hat. Just magician scarf level length of miracle. Just one insane play after another.
I mean, that is just ridiculous, right? It's a bloody bar fight in the objective there. Both teams just swinging haymakers. But it's when all is said and done, it's just a little bit more clutch on the side of Lava Lilies Rising. Call it a miracle or not, they've been able to complete the map. I don't think they should ever be allowed to do that, capping with 1:30 to actually go through. But they just play well beyond the caliber that they brought to, for example, Ilios. This is a team warmed up, now fully in King's Row here, and now it's their own turn to defend. They can, sleep safe with the knowledge that they've at least secured extra innings. That was just ridiculous, though. I thought it was all over when the bomb was popped. Because, obviously getting the kill to Tycho also forces the wall. Also means that nobody else can push strafe properly, so they ate a lot of spam. But I think it was especially Caramel and Sorry on the cart who were just able to win out a 2v3 to clutch things out. And with closer spawns in favor of Kaiju Core as well. That's not something you see every day. It's a little bit special here, folks. So we'll see if that hasn't damaged Kaiju Core's morale too much, their mental, as they roll out on their own escaping rounds.
I mean, that would have completely killed my mental, but apparently not for Kaiju Core, as they already immediately take out Sorry with a headshot. Great pick by Saturn, showing off on the hit scan on the Widow as well. Now just holding in the archway.
Yeah, that's a pretty good progress, and there might even be a Widowmaker Frank here.
Might even from the back, as, the Widow just completely holding high ground. Are they going to be able to find any heads in the process is the question. No, in fact, it's going to be Carmel finding Saturn's head, as this is quite the backline push from Yoshi, and it will not serve Kaiju Core well, as they're going to be beaten back, but they do get a tick for their trouble.
I like the play from Saturn, to be honest. You don't get to Jimmy levels of success without going on Jimmy level Saturn. Unfortunately, it went the same way as that fated moment, but a tick isn't too bad. Sorry's under now.
Sorry is, oh boy, Hollow can't aim, getting taken down immediately. Satellite Vector locked in for Tangerine, just putting in the damage into the backline, as they're going to use their own orbital strike. The copy from Yoshi is going to get burst down immediately. Yoshi taken down, and a good spear will just push Kaiju Core back even further.
I mean, just way more Ray value from Queen Bee there versus Tangerine. Just gets basically 5 people in that ultimate as opposed to Tangerine, which only really got themselves and maybe one. Because of that, Lava Lily's Rising still in control, still fighting, with a Blizzard that doesn't get eaten.
Yeah, that Blizzard somehow stays up. It's going to take down Hollow just on its own. And they will get the tick, but for Kaiju Core, this is trouble. Real trouble. I mean, oh, not the Diva Stagger, too.
It's not as brutal as it could have been, but as you mentioned, absolutely trouble. Yoshi has found themselves in the pub. Maybe there's a pint of John for you. I really couldn't tell you. Either way, this could mean there's some free scaling into the backline. It could also mean that at any point Lava Lilies could come back and create a free 5v4 for themselves. Looks to be the former option, but Sticky's not connecting maybe as much as you'd have wanted.
No, the assassination just can't go, and a great play splitting Kaiju Core, and Lava Lilies just keep on pushing. They're playing incredibly smart Overwatch, incredibly heads-up Overwatch as well. There's now a minute left, really only one fight or so for Kaiju Core, and they still have people in the back line.
That they do. Assassin is now the one who takes the turn on the flank, but very much could and will be cleared. That's a lot of resources out of a Tracer. No blinks, no recall, but an engager all the same.
And there goes the orbital strike as the point starting to tick over. Queen Bee gonna get taken down. Bomb thrown into the back line as we're jumping around. Sorry going to find the pick. No picks out of the bomb. Sorry with 2 before getting taken down by the Diva. And finally, Kaiju Core does eventually come out on top as soon as they burst down Pasta. But, oh no, the contest for Queen Bee is going to be quickly done.
Perfectly timed again from KCMX. If they'd waited, you know, an extra 5-10 seconds, then Lava Lily's Rising would have charged into support ults that would have allowed them to survive through that once. And with that, then that probably spells the end of King's Row, to be entirely honest. But no, they do go at the right time. Lava Lilies get those ults, but posthumously, and Hollow Can't Aim can now get on some Payload Princess gaming hours.
We love playing the Payload Princess game. Do we on Kaiju Core as Yoshi in trouble for a second? Is this on the high ground? Lava Lily's in a touch of in a bit of a zone of death right now. Caramel just sitting on this corner, waiting for Kaiju Core to come through. As there goes the orbital strike to boot damage boost Caramel, and they're gonna keep on pushing forward, and well, that'll be it, and quick.
They use the Juno, they win it out because Tangerine can't mirror it. That same will be true though. Oh dear.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
That's
Hollow
a crash
Can't Aim
beat.
gonna use the
That's a
beat.
crash beat. That's a crash
That's
beat.
a crash. That's a crash. That's. Oh no-y. Oh no, indeed. Copied onto the Orisa is Yoshi, trying to push in, trying to make this fight worth it. Pasta is going to get taken down, and somehow, some way, despite it all, Kaiju Core comes out on top.
I don't even know. I really couldn't tell you. Either way, minute left in the bank. Payloads are rolling. Lava Lily test using the Terra Surge, but not much more than that. A Bob, maybe, if Sorry has a strong one. And on the other side of things, the Orbital Ray plus the Self-Destruct. You're not loving your odds here if you're Lava Liz.
Especially with no Pasta left. Sorry. Really having a strong one. I'd even go so far as to call that a weak one falling off the map immediately. At least it wasn't cast this time. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, okay, a cap is absolutely doable here. With time is going to be a bit more though. So if we go extra innings, it should be, you know, around a minute for both of these sides. The ult cycle from KCMX has since died down. Just a dupe really to play with here. That Terra Surge is aggro.
Yeah, it's gonna take out Saturn. So now Kaiju Core has to either beat a retreat or try and come back quickly, as Saturn on this far is going to really struggle in the more enclosed space, especially against this Ashe. Sorry, now with the Bob on the high ground, has to retreat as the dive is going to come on top of them. Sorry, now just getting pushed back. This is so aggro from Kaiju Core, using the duplicate and just forcing them into spawn. Saturn now with the barrage as Yoshi copies the Juno. Are they going to be able to get the ult? No, they will not, but they're able to get the D-Mech onto Pasta. Queen Bee goes down, and now, thankfully, with less than a minute, Lava Lily's Rising, Kaiju Core has just been pushing through and exerting their will the entire time. It's literally only going to be a pick onto Hollow as all of Lava Lily's in spawn.
The touch is going to be really awkward. Yeah, you get the orbital ray out, and the added survivability allows them a smidge more time, but you need kills, and Sorry's just found one.
Sorry, I found the pick on a Tangerine. There's so much sustain. It's absolutely massive, and the D-Mech onto Felix now puts Kaiju Core in a massive amount of trouble.
26 seconds, more or less. KCMX are going to have a touch pretty much no matter what Lava Lily's Rising do, and the Orbital Ray is a huge problem for them. They need to be setting up early, using the rally to engage, because if they don't, KCMX are likely going to win the brawl on brawl fight, especially with Hollow can't aim, getting closer and closer to a sound barrier.
Yeah, Hollow getting really close to the sound barrier. There goes the satellite. There goes the orbital strike for Kaiju Core. Looking to charge up. There goes the rally from Tycho. The only ult that Lava Lilies have is the D-Mech onto Pasta comes through. Yoshi close to the copy as well as the break goes down. Copy out onto the Genji. Pasta on the Baby Diva gonna get taken down. And Kaiju Core can live again and will take us to extra rounds on King's Row.
A bit of a barn burner we got here between the Lava Lily and Kaiju Core. A minute from both these sides to attack a draw still on the cards, because, you know, finding what success you can in that time is pretty bloody tricky, if I do say so myself, but it's also not beyond the wits of man, and these 10 players really going to have to see what success they can find here. I believe, again, it's going to be a KCMX attack, and it does mean that Lava Liz can, you know, learn a little bit from the mistakes they made previously. And also what's worth mentioning, K-Wing, is that Lava Lily's Rising, their defense was rock solid, remember? They had to get just out-ulted to actually end up losing that out. But no, I have got it wrong, actually. It's going to be KCMX on the defense. So Lava is going to see how far the buck stops before they get to stop it themselves. Could be tricky, though.
It could be tricky. Both of these teams really had quite the defense for their first round, so this might be a statistical tie here, Spec. This might just be, knock on wood, but this might just be some draw fodder. We might be going to Draw's Row.
You know, if I had to bet, I'd probably say, yeah, we're going to draw. Comps are about the same when it comes to Diva comps. Very mobile. We won't see as much frontline trading in the gate. That's why we don't see too much battle there. It should be an attempt for most of these players to scale through the right side. Oh my god.
No way! That's such a massive opening. Thankfully,
Bloody drive-by.
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Fool me 4 times. And, well, I think I've finally learned my lesson, says the backline of Lava Lily's Rising. Saturn will not fool them again, and that'll be 2 picks before the recontest can come in. Looking for the pick on a Queen Bee, as both of those backline were up very far. Not really hanging out on the point to Common. Saturn going to take out Sorry, and so it'll be 2 picks, 2 ticks, pardon, and 2 picks.
It seems like Lava Lily's Rising weren't scaled to try and repulse a retake. They weren't looking for it. Obviously, overtime will be started, and it has to be a chaos fight now to try and find success.
Sorry's gonna get taken down. Sorry, just trying to avoid Saturn is gonna find themselves a foul with Yoshi. Now Caramel, that's a big shift out of Tycho. This is gonna get taken down, but it's the early ult from Tangerine, and it's going to help him take down Tycho. And it's gonna be no orbital strike for Lava Lilies, and it'll let the DPS of Kaiju Core absolutely pop off as the overtime with burns 78.1% is all that's on the board.
The good news is, K-Wing, there's no chance of a draw. Honestly, a pretty successful round, all things considered, for Lava Lily's Rising. They're going a little bit done by the fact they didn't get more progress. That reset was pretty brutal from KCMX. But, flip side of things as well, this is very achievable for KCMX. They really don't need to make this go any deeper if they don't want to. It could just be one clean fight. Yeah, it was a great catch on Sorry, I have to say, to get things started out. Lovely drive by Sleep and Nade to end the Tracer's battle before it even started. But I don't think they can find an opening that way now.
I don't think so either. And as we get ready for the last round, looks like we do have a DC coming in again. I swear. I swear to Jeff, if it was you again, Felix, ooh, I'm gonna make sure your pillow's warm on both sides every night.
It was Felix, yeah. Care, I guess. We on the Kunoichi broadcast, by the way, would never threaten any of our players. We will treasure you very much so, and would not wish to see any harm, such as a warm pillow befall you.
That's not harm. That's not harm.
I would describe
That
it as
is
harm.
joke. Like
I would describe it as harm.
I'm not going to
Warm
threaten
pillow?
people.
That's crazy. Warm pillow is like, that's what they do in Guantanamo Bay. I'm telling you.
Anyway.
Okay, we'll see. We've got to take a gander right here for the final time. Again, Lava Lily's defense was on paper stronger than their opposition's. Going to be an Ashe May setup, I believe the same as what they played before. This can be relatively cyclical. You can play around using a Rissa like gold and your speed ring to engage, and then you can back off using the spin, the spear, pretty much everything else. And from KCMX, note the lack of a spawn peak by the looks of things. It's straight on the double divers. They just want to keep the tempo high with the double speed.
And they're going to keep it incredibly quick. The Venture and the Tracer, this team is going to be going in incredibly fast, and that's going to be the roll-up that they're taking, getting onto the high ground very quickly and trying to clear out any players like Sorry on this Ashe. But it looks like Sorry isn't
Not
there just yet. Now just sitting on the high ground, a bit of a reversal of the map. And it's going to be Saturn getting taken down early. Caramel with what could have just gotten their team the map. Has found a headshot onto the Tracer, and it's a very split Lava Lily's team. Sorry, able to evade the Venture just for now, as Sorry and Pasta going to combine for some picks. Yoshi will find the pick onto Caramel, so that could be the opening for a recontest if they can get it. They do have the Lucio and the Venture, so it's an opening. It's a chance for KC.
3 seconds left to go. They will get on the objective. Time by the looks of things, but the overtime Wicks now going to the problem. Hollow can't aim on. Lava Lily's Rising could win here.
Hollow can't aim incredibly low. It's gonna be Yoshi the first to go down. Hollow can't aim, still alive. Sorry, uncontested on this high ground. Can't find the pick on a Tangerine. Gets the headshot, but nothing to finish them off. Tangerine, though, will go down in the end. Finally found by Sorry. Tracer trying to get that pick, but Felix Lewis is going to get taken down by the Javelin spin. And Kaiju Core, so close, and yet so far. It's gonna be 1-1 tied.
Comes as close can get realistically. Another chaos fight on the objective. This time it's Lava Lilies who've got the angle, the firing lines, and the numbers advantage. Able to close it out in the end here. I gotta say, I mean, the idea from Lava Lily's Rising to map flip when KC had kind of pushed forward, right, when they managed to scale all the way to Stair, that was brilliant from them. That's the only correct response. You know, you'd love to stop them getting all the way to pairs in the first place, but, you know, if you can't, then just go straight back castle and make all the angles that they've taken not entirely useless, but a hell of a lot less strong. So brilliant idea. And that one shot call, honestly, catapulted them into a scenario where they could win out King Zero. So an absolutely electric matchup there on our hybrid matches, but we've got so much more to go.
Incredible. And you even saw in the chat, Carabel saying that they channeled their inner Willow on that play, on the May play. And to be fair, that clutch factor, absolutely channeling Willow. As we go into break, tied up 1-1, we'll be right back with even more, a guaranteed map 4 here in the winners finals of Kunoichi Kosmos. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. You look so mad at me for what I said right before we went back in. Welcome back to the Kunoichi Kosmos Tournament Rising Series. We've got the winners finals all tied up at 1, and I can't even look at I can't look at your face right now, Spec. I can't take you seriously.
Okay.
You look so
Come on,
You
just get it
look
out there.
mad.
Get it over with. Get it over with. Okay, if you had your fun, you had your fun. Listen, actually, I have had my fun because we have had just a banger series of or map even. That King's Row was absolutely electric. We look to continue that form in our matchup between Lava Lilies Rising and Kaiju Core MX. Next map gonna be coming up should be Escort. So again, these longer sight lines in favor in theory, should favor some of these long-range hit scan picks that we have been seeing more commonly out of KC. But honestly, it could be anyone's game depending on what map we get. And I don't believe, K-Wing, you or I know what we've got coming up next.
Spec.
Hmm.
Not only okay, look. Here's a little secret, chat.
Yeah.
One of the things that a lot of people tell early casters is you never disagree. Don't disagree with your.
Oh, I didn't get
your
told
co-caster,
that. I didn't get told that,
because,
never.
Like, don't disagree with your co-caster during the game. Thankfully, it's not during the game, because not only is the next map not Escort, that's map 5, it's going to be Clash, and we do know what map it is.
Oh yeah,
because
we
knew
were. I was
before
distracted
break,
by my pasta.
Throne of Anubis. Spec was distracted by his pasta,
Yeah.
which he was so proud of. He was like,
Yeah.
I think I'm actually a
That's
goated
crazy.
cooker. My secret technique. And what he was so upset about when we loaded in, and why he looked so sad and angry, was because I said, well, I know you're British, so the secret technique definitely isn't seasoning that food.
Listen,
That-
okay. Let's
there
talk
you
about
go.
let's talk about the map.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about the map before I turn into a pot of frustration. So I think did we say Throne of Anubis? Let's get some confirmation. Throne of Anubis. That's the better Clash map. That's good. The mode is still terrible, but it's the better map. Frontline trading, and frontline trading. That's what we're gonna see. You have some flank options. High grounds though don't really matter. Second point a little bit, but you're gonna spend the entire map playing on the first point anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I've seen people have a fight that took 6 minutes on the first point because the spawns are so close. Really, it's anybody's game. It's just going to be a mechanics test between these two teams. Whoever's choosing Hotter today, they're going to be the ones to take home this map.
That they are. And I don't know. Clash is just such a frustrating mistress, as a lot of times it is that back and forth. But if any team does get that upper hand on point B or point D respectively, you can get into a pretty good position constantly being on the defense. It's basically, to my mind, it's a sort of mini series in the series. It's a really interesting map. It is frighteningly annoying to play, watch, and cast. But hey, it's in the video game.
I think CGL record for Clash is 2 minutes and 9 seconds, if memory serves. We could be seeing that, but I don't think it's actually going to be that time. To get these kind of one-sided matches, you need to have either a really quite crazy snowball or teams that are just a little bit mismatched. And say what you will about what we've had so far, but a mismatch of teams is absolutely not the case. So speedrun, I don't expect to see. Down to the wire seems a little bit more likely as we begin to see our comps get locked in. It's exactly the same from Lava Lilies Rising, the exact same comp that they played previously. I believe Sorry might have been on a different hit scan, but even I'm not sure about that. It's pretty much the same kettle of fish anyway. On the other side, though, this is much more different from KCMX. This Genji Reaper, again, it's frontline damage. It's just about that raw DPS. But with the Lucio not backing up their healing, will that be an issue or not?
That's the question as we go toward the first fight. Hydrocore is going to get early sway on this point. Actually, very good sway. Holding basically like they're on the defense. Getting a big advantage going forward, especially playing this Reaper. It's going to be very difficult for Lava Lilies to push through, but push through they will. Right on top of Saturn. Saturn's going to get absolutely devastated, but able to get off the Wraith Walk. Yoshi not so lucky. Bit of damage onto Toss, but Yoshi in a bit too deep. A lot of ult charge off the back of it. These supports are charging up their ults very quickly. I'm looking at the two Junos charging up the orbital strike. Sorry, and Caramel both going to go down. Saturn starting to pick up the slack, starting to really get warmed up, and it'll be point number 1 going to Kaiju Core MX.
Yeah, it looks like it will be. I believe that was first pick even for Lava Lilies, but just don't go in their way. Yes, Pasta is going to be the last player to be cleaned up. Because of how long these fights are, we will be seeing supports being charged pretty much every single checkpoint. Tangerine, Tycho, Queen Bee all have theirs online. Holo can't aim. Theirs is a little bit further, but still will be online in good time. And now we can... Oh, that's an early rip.
Early rip from Tangerine on that ult, like you said, and oh, there's the Death Blossom from Saturn! Gonna take down
Good
one,
lord.
and Yoshi's just going to clean up the rest. What a great play. The ghost dashes on that had to be incredible.
I mean, because they hit them so early, there's a chance that Lava Lilies Rising contest before the cart is fully capped. They're gonna try it with their own Ray Rips early.
That they'll try, but they're going to be going into a Genji Blade as there goes the Blade. It's going to be Queen Bee taken out. Oh, wow, Yoshi in some trouble, but will get the win for their team as there goes the ult from Pasta, and it'll just serve to prolong the inevitable.
I don't want to say it, but this is exactly what a snowball looks like. KCMX will have better positioning on the last point. They should free tick if they actually go for it. They don't want to. Okay. They're cowarding out. They are playing this a safe way, which means they just wait along and go in a little bit later so they don't get spammed out.
Well, Yoshi's going to take a headshot from Caramel. Trade it out. It's a 4v4 now on the point as Felicity starts holding on the point in a bit of no man's land as the May going to use that cryo early from Caramel. But, oh, Caramel, no, gonna get taken down. Saturn, the trade starting to come through. Remember, 1 tick is 1 point for Kaiju Core, but they won't be able to get a single tick out of it, but they're still in a very good position.
There they are. I do think that choosing to wait before the point unlocked probably was a mistake for them. You need that early scaling to actually punish. If you try and walk up late, then sure, you would have loved to be deeper on the point to force them to retake into you. But not to be. Lava Lilies get their first point and back onto point D we go. Casey, the crazy ult bank here.
It's an absolutely crazy ult bank, and it's going to be that early start. The Death Blossom is still online. This is about the same scenario, but it's going to be Hollow, landing a double kill and just cleaning through the rest of Lava Lilies. Kaiju Core now right back on the tail of this point E.
Yep, it's about as easy as it could have got, realistically. Lava Lilies Rising, struggling here. I don't know what's changed in between King's Row and here, but the 5 or so minutes we had as part of our bio break, but evidently it's working out for Kaiju Core pretty well, if I do say so myself. Blom and a Bottom to try and get more cap here. Only 2 ticks now needed.
Death Blossom and the bomb, like you said, and it's gonna be Saturn finding the early pick. It still has the Death Blossom online. Gonna find the pick onto both of the supports. This could be devastating now. Looking for the Death Blossom, but doesn't need it at all. Saturn just rolling with the shotguns. Still there. There goes Wow, they just need to be perfect, and they can't get it in the end. The picks coming out from Taiko and the Juno keep Lava Lilies in it.
I think Yoshi dies because they double jump over the and accidentally peek for self-destruct. That's what it looked like to me, at least. But either way, that's pretty unfortunate. Second point for Lava Lilies Rising, but they are rapidly running out of a runway here. They need to get their heads in the game quick, and they can't get crunched up in the side room again.
Yeah, and with all these checks on the side of Kaiju Core, that's a great start to take out Yoshi. The beat going in a bit too late. Queen Bee going to respond with a beat of their own. Pasta in some trouble, but they'll bomb, punch a hole in the back line. Oh,
Again!
Again! No way! Throws in that Death Blossom down 2
nice.
And cleans up with an ace.
That is the third time we've seen Lava Lilies Rising get absolutely mulched in that side room. They'll have a recontest here, but what can they actually get done with it?
Oh, they just need to stay out of that side room. I
real?
swear, it is their kryptonite. Twice it's been the Death Blossom, and it's still Saturn. 7 kills now. Just that anyone can do. Saturn eventually taken down. What an incredible run already from the Reaper. Not exactly something you expect. Wow.
Only one tick going to be needed now. 20 seconds again till the point unlocks, and last time they weren't able to get even that. Lava Lilies Rising, they need to get 3 in a row after this defense, and it's not really what you love to see here. The Blade and the Orbital Ray as well give some really quite powerful stopping to Kaiju Core.
Yoshi going in deep, so is Saturn into the back line, but there goes the Orbital Ray from Taiko. Tangerine holding onto a ray of their own. Waiting on that to expire before Kaiju Core pushes in as the ray. No picks coming from it. Blizzard and the bomb online. Yoshi going to be the first to fall as 2 ticks so far on the board, but starting to get reversed as Pasta throws the bomb on point. No hits off it, but gives them some time to breathe and gives Saturn some time to go to work. Landing 2 picks, landed 3 picks. Saturn! Oh my goodness! Getting the name synergy buff from being the astronomical name. Throws out the Death Blossom just to take out Queen Bee as the point starting to tick up. Pulse Bomb eaten by Felix. Saturn taking another. Yoshi pulling out the Blade. Finally, hard to make yourself known against. And the Ajax! It's the Kunoichi Ajax. Look at how disappointed Dex is in that corner. Kaiju Core and X have roared back with style. Saturn just demolishing the entirety of Lava Lilies as the point will flip over. It's just a Diva and Queen Bee. Queen Bee going to get just trying to evade as Pasta gets taken down. Now Queen Bee making the last stand. She's so close together. The Venture just using the burrow to stay alive for a little bit longer. And there goes the Tracer. It's a long stagger, especially at this final
Keeps
point.
going.
But
It just
still
keeps going.
The 40, the 30, the 20, the 10, the 5, the 4. Goodness gracious, Lava Lilies, let them have it at this point. Oh, gets them in the end. Lava Lilies Rising.
Okay, Blood Bunny's cooking in the chat. I can't. What even happened there? That final fight was arguably like 2 minutes long. You don't see that every day, I'll call it that. But that's just the reality that Clash forces upon us. Yeah, we get to see this highlight again from Saturn as they're just, putting their opponents in the oven. No real better way of describing that. After a super close King's Row, then when we go over to Clash, it's a very different story. Lava Lilies Rising can't seem to really put a foot right on a Throne of Anubis, unfortunately. Which means that Kaiju Core now are at series point. Grand Finals, just 1 map away.
That it is, and it's going to be Flashpoint next on the... It's going to be Flashpoint. Next on the lineup. Okay. It's going to be...
Okay, we're chilling. We can just keep on yapping, but we won't be able to see anything for a bit, so if anything really scary, we'll be really worried, and won't know about it. Yeah. I'm running out of things to say. Well, I can't see anything. I'm still kind of taking the mental tilt from having to watch Clash again. By the way, guys, if anyone who says we want 2CP back, that's exactly what we'll get, but just on like different maps and more often. You don't want 2CP back. You've got those rose-tinted glasses. You heard it here first.
Yeah, it's like that, like, the monologue from Jacksepticeye of, like, you don't want the old Overwatch back. You don't miss the old Overwatch. You miss how you felt when you were playing the old Overwatch. Because statistically, like a lot of us, when you're playing the old Overwatch, when you're playing 2CP, you were a kid. You were, you know, like, I was, like, 15 when I was playing old Overwatch. I miss not having adult responsibilities. I miss being able to just do my homework and that's it, and just hang out with my friends. But now I have things like money and a job, and that's not as fun. I'm sorry.
I mean,
you don't miss the old Overwatch. You miss the old you.
I think that if you're an off-tank player, maybe you get an excuse for Overwatch 1, sorry. But I think especially when people start talking about like 2016 Overwatch, it's like the guys. Let's be for
they're
real
full
now.
of crap.
You've made that up. We can see what's up next. Looks to be Esperanza between KCMX and Lava Lilies Rising. We've got some substitutes as well by the looks of things. Sorry is going to be coming out, and Lilac is going to be coming in. To me, it implies some double FDPS madness, and on Esperanza that absolutely would make sense. The sightlines are playable for long-range hit scan, but you can also get away with some Sombra Tracer, Echo Tracer, anything like that really, should you so wish.
Yeah. And now, one last map, potentially, between Kaiju Core and home, and we're going to push. We're not actually going to Flashpoint, we're going to push. And I like that. I'm happy. We're going to a map type that people actually like, and that no one ever complains about.
They didn't like it at first.
As a community, it's never a complaining community.
Listen, I'm honestly, I'm a complainer, and I've never been a complainer about Ishvara. You know, Coloseo had a lot of issues on release. I think we can definitely agree with that. We're also having some issues, is what we're hearing, which is not good, because we don't like that. Generally, issues are considered bad, and not having issues would be considered good. I am just waffling. It is pretty obvious. I'd really like to get into the action so we can talk about something we actually know about. In the meantime, though, yeah, I got no philosophics. Okay, we make something up.
Did you know that the United States of America actually regularly has to fight Bigfoot?
That isn't made
up. We
up.
don't actually tell people in the EU this, but Bigfoot is like completely real. We have to fight him in gladiatorial combat about every year or so. It's what the 4th of July is. The fireworks are actually just a mask to cover the sounds of Bigfoot fighting right now. Why are we posting Overcooked gifs in live one?
Listen, okay, I would have had to be on the lash. Okay, I hit my audio cut out. That's not good. I hope it's still going. I hope I'm still talking.
You said something like, I'd have to be on the last, and then you'd...
I'd have to be on the lash to believe a porky like that.
I mean, it's real.
You know, because I just don't add him any. Sorry, that's how it be.
I don't know what to say.
I'm loving this like half-second stun.
America, you. I can't out America you.
I love the kind of the stun look I get when K-Wing hears anything British I say.
It's not anything British that you say. It's just literally, like, when you say something British that sounds like, if I heard it coming out of Mary Poppins' mouth, I'd say that sounds too whimsical for even Mary Poppins.
I see. I actually haven't seen Mary Poppins, so yeah. I don't really know what to go about this. Look, we're in the map. We can stop talking about absolute nonsense. Though, if we have another technical issue, I will have to ask your opinion on Megapolis, the Francis Ford Coppola film.
The what?
Yeah, see, we'll get to it when we get to it. Listen, doors unlocking in about 3 seconds. And here we are. Comms locked in by the looks of things. As we mentioned, double flex support, or double flex DPS, sorry, for Lava Lilies Rising with Lilac and Caramel in. Diva as well, a little bit more mobile than the Ram we might be seeing occasionally for KCMX. It's the same story, but again, with the Lucio and with the Venture. So a little bit less poke, a little bit more committal, I suppose you'd call it, from Kaiju Corp. We'll see if that actually matters.
That we'll have to see, as pushing forward, meeting right in that middle. It's going to be Kaiju Corp consistently going just a hair faster with that Lucio speed boost. Then Lava Lilies getting some slightly more advantageous position at times. This is now Yoshi really going in deep, but able to bail themselves out with the dig. Lilac going to get Saturn, as Lilac, a new substitution, finally taking the task to Saturn.
Yeah, no, it's nicely done. Not been in for a while, but has been on the Lava Lilies for more than a hot second and able to show stuff really in the very first fight of each run. So here, not much progress though accrued before Kaiju Corp are right back in the action.
Yeah, and pushing right back through. That's the benefit of that Juno Lucio. It's so dang fast. Is Yoshi gonna take out Taiko? And Saturn returning the favor. Queen Bee in some trouble. And Kaiju Corp roars right back as the bot is gonna get right back under the bridge for Kaiju Corp.
Yep, right back into the middle, back to the oasis of the swing. This map can often feel like a pendulum, and as 9K often likes to say, it's consecutive fights that really matter here on push, and we don't get to see that out of Lava Lilies Rising. So, about into even Steven's scenario here for both these two sides. This next fight is going to matter a lot though, because if Kaiju Corp do get that consecutive, they're in a great position to begin snowballing each round.
They're going to be in a fantastic position to start the snowball rolling, especially when it comes to ults. Charging up, Tangerine very, very close to the orbital strike, and actually, it looks like we're going to get some forward spawn for Kaiju Corp as the orbital strike between Bee and Tangerine both going to come out. Pulse bomb thrown in. Whoa, that was quite the yeet out of Lilac, going to get devoured up as Yoshi picks up 2 on the Venture, and Kaiju Corp in really good position.
Pretty tragic fight, honestly, for Lava Lilies Rising. Everything goes against them. They spend the entire fight building towards a Juno ult, and, you know, it's mirrored pretty easily by Tangerine. They don't get the advantage that they look for, and wasting that much time means that forward spawns come through even before the fight starts. That's pretty much everything going against them. As I mentioned, now Lava Lilies Rising already looking at an almost 100-meter distance bank.
Yoshi's gonna get taken out early, though. And that'll just be the sign for Kaiju Corp to get out of dodge. As Caramel's going to chase them down, and actually Saturn is going to get taken down in the end. Diva Bomb thrown in over top. Can find any picks in the end? No. But Kaiju Corp are really going to chase.
Yeah, that they are. I mean, you need to chase. You need to build up some sort of momentum if you are Lava Lilies Rising. Because if you just try and take 50-50s, I mean, you're just going to get beaten by the overwhelming advantage here. Gage only gets the...
Yoshi gonna take the ult, gonna take out Queen Bee, get in trade, but Tangerine finding the pick onto Taiko, and there you go. That's going to be Pasta getting B-Max and staggered out.
That it is. You can't get much stagger on this map type. Obviously, as soon as you're on, then you are surplus to requirements. So we won't be seeing that, at least for now. That's going to be back, though. Again, Juno is going to be online, going to be mirrored out. Queen Bee, though, being 50% behind on the beat could be a huge issue if we don't see an early pulse from connection from Lilac.
Lilac needs a big pulse bomb, like you said, as the bot already at the barricade, pushing more forward. And there goes the orbital strike.
No
Big
way.
pulse bomb going to land onto Hollow, but it's traded out for Tycho. Even 44 as they cross into triple-digit meter territory. Oh, Pasta in some trouble. Has the Diva Bomb and gonna have to throw it in offensively. Won't get any picks at all as, whoa, Yoshi gonna get thrown up in the air. Queen Bee, a great play to get that pick, but they need to chain together fights. You had 3 chained together by Kaiju for.
And I hate to say Hollow, but we did see you just jump into the pulse one. It was really unfortunate to witness. And jumping into the grave once again as Pasta's fusion cannons are able to get the final blow. Felix Felicius, if it gets demeched here, that could be absolutely heartbreaking. But by the looks of things, a stay of execution from Pasta, 98 HP. The Diva of KC will survive on, and just the beat to engage next. Ult advantage for Lava Lilies could mean that finally they get that snowball that we've been talking about going.
That's what they need as they throw in the orbital strike. Tycho, they need these picks. Beat comes out, but it's not in time to save Yoshi. Just the Tracer over top, trying to put in the pressure. Can't find any picks. Can Saturn beat in from Queen Bee to try and aggress and push forward? They're not going to have any beat for anything else, but I don't really know if they need it, as they will unlock forward spawns. They still need at least a fight or 2. They want to keep going forward.
Yeah. That's still, though, getting on their way. Queen Bee going down makes this. You do have those forward spawns, though. So all you have to do is back up, let them, even Juno if they really want to, but just give the space, because ultimately it won't affect the walls.
It really won't. 60% as there goes Tangerine throwing out the over strike to the D-Net. On Felix comes in early, pulse bomb thrown in over the top.
Good lord.
It's a triple from Lilac. I don't even know how that hit. I think it might have hit onto the bot or something, because that looks crazy.
Little bit of spaghetti cleaning up Sassen, but it really doesn't matter in the end. Lilac just crashes into the side of Kaiju Core like a torpedo into a ship, and quickly there goes the bottom of the waves. Pushing back through now, but Lava Lily's Rising getting closer and closer to the comeback. We really need to consider this as a possibility now, Kaylin.
It is a possibility now as Lilac going to be taken down. There goes the D-Bomb in the back from Pasta just to get the remake going. It will be successful. Tycho in some trouble, gonna get taken down, and there goes the chance. The Diva Bomb into the back is going to get the onto Pasta, and that'll be a bit of a stagger onto the Diva too. As what icon is that? Is that the?
I think it's a boot, but for us on our feed, it looks pretty crunched. It caught me for a second too, but I'm assuming that's a boot kill. That being said, 2 minutes left to go. There's still time for Lava Liz Rising to win the fight. 2 fights that they need before OT even comes through. But they really need to start being perfect about now. Pulse. Oh, good lords.
Oh my goodness. That is far from perfect for Lava Lilies. Actually perfect out of Saturn. Just showing off again. But bot is going to start moving. It does look like there was a little bit of shenanigans going on the cart. But Lilac will give their life for the shenanigans.
That's a little bit awkward there. What a pulse one from Saturn. After Lilac's performance, then they knew they had to put their hat right back in the ring. And that means that Lava Lily's Rising now, I think, will have to complete an OT.
Yeah, and they'll have to complete multiple fights in a row. Deadeye coming in from Yoshi, going to get completely taken down. Great play from Carmel on with the focusing beam. Tangerine trying to stay alive, trying to just play around this pillar. Feels Lizzie doing incredibly well. How have they done this? Still staying alive. Tangerine will get taken down in the end as the bot finally starts moving the way of Lava Lilies.
Yeah, that it does. Minute 20 left to go. their ults aren't too bad at all, to be honest. Everything bar the Juno ult, in fact, but Tangerine has that particular check mark, and we've spoken at length about its...
The enemy has captured the robot.
Oh, Lilac's getting taken down. That's just not good for Lava Lilies. They can't abide these early picks. It's Caramel, the D-Mech on the pasta. Oh, there's nothing they can do. Saturn gets taken down, and well, that's all that Lava Lilies can really find. Kapia's coming over the top of the Diva from Caramel, just trying to replace Pasta for a moment, getting a lot of damage, forcing the retreat from Kaiju Core, but they need these picks, and they can't abide by that. They cannot let themselves get taken down like that. There goes the Diva Bomb to get the remake for Caramel, but no picks, no decisive fight, and now they're looking at 3 or even 4 fights in a row they have to win. Beat has to come out from Lava Lilies Rising, and what could be the last fight before they go down to the lower bracket. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Diva Bomb takes out Yoshi. That could be the start of something here, Spec.
It really could be. Psycho has the Ray now online. Saturn up with a pulse is terrifying and gets a Tracer Diff onto Lilox once again. Payload moving, yes, and both teams just sprint across the map, desperately trying to reach their objectives.
Desperately trying. It's the Pulse Bomb and the Orbital Ray. It's what you called awkward. But a few maps ago, this Orbital Ray needs to be massive. Tycho in a lot of trouble already. Dishing out the healing and dishing out the damage with that shift. There goes the blade from Yoshi. Looking to cut Lava Lilies down. And it looks like it will. A triple kill. Slices the stem. And Lava Lilies will have to rise again from the lower bracket.
Oh, it was close, really. That King's Row was electric, but unfortunately outside of the Kaiju Core show exactly why the team in Kunoichi Rising right now, they're able to close out that win pretty dominantly, honestly, outside of that King's Row. And they've earned their berth towards the grand finals.
And they'll be facing off against Lava Lilies. And the winner of that lower bracket run, whether that be, they'll be facing off against either Lava Lilies or whoever won in that lower bracket. But it looks like we're going to be taking a break, and we'll be coming back with, I believe, some new casters, Spec.
I think so. It's getting towards my bedtime anyway, so. That was 3.
That was 3.
We're being gaslight by our producer. Don't worry, guys.
We just got gaslit. We went, all right, well, that's it. That's over. And Echo went, it's first 3, not first 2. And we went, that was 3.
Okay,
So,
while this did happen, you don't go to air all 30 laws. That's people.
we're having tech issues. It's okay. You know, sometimes you forget the score. That's all right. I have done much sillier things. Simply ask Dizzo D about that. We all have embarrassing moments. Shut up, Echo. You're not
Listen,
on.
when all is said and done, we had a really strong game. It was a great match between both teams. Lilox had a great performance on that Tracer. If I were them, I'd be absolutely heartbroken to lose the only map I played when I was playing like that. But that's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. Teams more than just one player, and today the team was just too good for Kaiju Core Saturn as well. When it's absolutely ballistic, definitely looked like the best player in the lobby 9 times out of 10. Pulse bombs, especially in the early series, would just feel like consistently finding frags, and the Widowmaker as well, just absolutely lights out.
Reportedly dropped a 50 bomb on King's Row, even on the map where Kaiju Core was struggling. Dropped a 50 bomb. What an incredible play. I mean, the Reaper play, the Tracer play, the Widow play, a birth of heroes there. So incredible from Saturn. And as we take our break and we get the next round of casters in here, thank you all so much for joining us here today. We're going to take a quick break, get those next casters in here. We're going to have Thousand Eyes and Nerdy Bird. Or at least that's on the schedule. I think we've had some last minute changes, but we're gonna get some people in here. It looks like maybe we might have Thousand Eyes and Nerdy Bird covering you for the rest of Rising. So just hold on while we get them in, and we will see you just after this. Don't go anywhere.
Our inside here, you get an insight and you know something, but you don't want to say it out loud because you're kind of afraid that it's not going to be really true and it'll spoil the whole thing for you. But when somebody makes you say it, then, and it's true, then it just makes it more beautiful of a thing.
Water is the softest and most yielding substance, yet nothing is better than water for overcoming the hard and rigid, because nothing can compete with it. Lao Tzu.
Name straight, new wave. Name straight, new wave. Name straight, new wave. Name straight, new wave. Name straight, new wave.
say you're on the run to the other side, my love. You say you wanna try, but you never do. Sugar, there's a reason why we lose. You say you
And welcome everybody to the Kunoichi Cosmos Rising stream here. I am Thousand Eyes, that is Nerdy Bird, and I am excited to get into our first match of the day. Nerdy, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm excited because this is a rematch from a match that I actually got to cast yesterday. But some weird things have occurred, and I'm not like... I'm not throwing shade at these players, but to quote themselves, some tomfoolery has happened. I'm not going to spoil anything just yet, because, I mean, the stream, we get to do it ourselves eventually at some point here pretty soon. But nonetheless, some swaps have been made on these teams. All I can say is creativity has occurred. I'll respect it until I see what actually occurs on screen, but we can actually take a look at the bracket to see how these two teams ended up facing off against each other, not once, but twice, and what has gone down since then.
Yeah, so obviously you can see we have obviously had Lava Lilies and Paul's Out just opening last time around, and it was just Lava Lilies getting the 2-0, going up against KCMX and not being successful in that, which, you know, Paul's Out, credit to them, easy 3-0. Now moving on to this rematch that we are at now to try and get to the finals against KCMX. Will it be a rematch of Lava Lilies, or are Paul's Out going to find the answers they did not have before?
Well, perhaps some of the adjustments that have been made will be advantageous for one squad, and considering we've got two, let's introduce our first team, which is going to be Paws Out, and their roster lineup for today is going to be... Yeah, Zachary K is coming in on DPS. They were our tank yesterday. Now we have our player Maddie coming in on that DPS role. Now, of course, also someone in the chat mentioned Willow being the best diamond player May NA. Well, how's their Reinhardt? That's my question for you, because she has swapped over to the tank role. I even called this earlier when I heard she was going tank. I was like, I foresee Reinhardt in my future. I love me Rectangle Man. I'm excited. And then Saccharine, they're going to be pulling in on the support, as well as I can hardly read right now, but Patroclus, they're going to be rounding out that roster on the support line.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting. Like you said, Willitron, you know, best Diamond May, and now, you know, maybe best Diamond Reinhardt. We don't have an answer for that one. We can't disprove it so far. It is going to be an interesting swap, like you said, because it's not a swap as far as I can tell of necessary, but we'll see where that goes. Regardless, we're gonna move on to our next team, which is going to be Lava Lilies, and go through the lineup there. It is going to be Caramel and Lilac on the DPS, Pasta on tank, Tycho and Queen Bee bringing it up on the support roles.
Okay, so yesterday during our very first game on broadcast for Lava Lilies, while they did phenomenally well against Paws Out, which was their second match during game 1, which basically what you see here, this backline lineup plus the D.Va, we saw a significant amount of this. Our Ana, Queen Bee, really was struggling to survive, but then goes Brigida and was having a lot more success. I'm curious today if the adjustments have been made based off those VODs, if ours changing, if we're going to have changes in positioning and how we play with our anti-nades to be used slightly a little bit more delayed to work more against the enemy team's engagement rather than prevents an engagement. We'll have to wait and see, because Queen Bee, you are a make or break point for this squad, so my eyes are glued to you, while I know my production team says they're looking at our DPS lineups, because we got some funky Widow players on both sides.
Widow's exciting, right? Like, it's just like click, boom, you're gone, and I can just change a fight immediately. We're going to be going to Ilios for our first control map, which I know, Nerdy, you are less of a fan of. You were a little bit upset when we did hear it was going to be an Ilios pick.
Okay, so, like, I mean, I don't hate Ilios. It's not like I have, like, any disdain towards it. It's just, I ended it yesterday on Ilios. So I'm like, let me restart the day on Busan. I love Busan. I explained it's because it's so dynamic. Ilios, I also do like, and the reason being is because when I'm playing support, I'm playing Lucio. So these maps really play into my ability to throw people off the map, get play of the games really easily doing that. So for that aspect, I absolutely adore Ilios. Well is fabulous playing on Lighthouse. It's like you want to bait and trap people to the edges in the back of the map, and then you just, you know, you hit them with your boop, and then you say sayonara and wall right away. what? Like I said, I like some spice thrown into things, and so, you know, even considering we saw Mecha Base, maybe give me something else. We were talking with production. They're like, Nepal, if that were to be in rotation. And I was like, you know, I like me some Sanctum gameplay. Again, Lucio main over here.
Yeah, I was gonna say the first map that I casted today was Ilios, and I got like excited because I was like, oh boy, it's the funny Lucio map, and then there was 0 Lucio in that entire map, so it made me a little sad. But maybe things will be different here. Maybe I'll get my fix now that we're a little bit later in the day.
We do see like some Lucio Juno play, but there is the argument that can be made that it's like, why bother having the Lucio? Because like Juno is just a better version of Lucio. Granted, of course, I'm always going to be biased towards my Frog Boy, my DJ Frog Boy. I'm always going to keep him safe. I cannot believe that a meta has finally been thrown into place in Overwatch 2 where it feels like you don't need to have a Lucio, or like the worst version of the comp relies on a Lucio player. So, I mean, in the eyes of all Lucio mains, RIP, enjoy your vacation for a little bit. We will be thrown in jail again here pretty soon, mark my words. But, I mean, I'm fine not seeing a Lucio on Ilios. It just means there's a little less need for players to be afraid of playing in open positions where they could get booped. And that is kind of sad for me because it's like the threat of getting thrown off the map always made me happy.
You're gonna see it. You're gonna be like, oh man, if there was a Lucio in this game right now, it'd be going crazy, and just gonna be like, nah, that should have been it. Regardless, we are getting into our first map here today, which is going to be again, we don't see any Lucio so far.
No,
but we do see Winston, which is intriguing to me.
I think the teams might have had a mutual agreement to roll out on Winston because I have one word and it is Winton coming from both teams. And Willow said goodbye to Spec and K-Wing. They will both most likely still be watching. Appreciated the casters over here before us, but we get to be here for the remainder of the evening. Pause out, Lava Lilies. Best of luck to both of you as you battle out for control of high ground. It's Pasta going in deep early on off a nade.
Yeah, Pasta actually getting the really early jump here, and it has created a lot of space here. You can see Queen Bee is holding ground here from the distance, just able to keep Pasta alive pretty safely here as we are waiting for that first push on the map. Right now it is Lava Lilies that do seem to be making that push first, as we do see Pasta pushing away the attackers here.
Pasta was inching back that Ana a little bit at a time. Ana had to just drop down ultimately. I think that was Willoton's key to come back and help out the backline, but we see Caramel falls down to Sakurai, and then Zachary K on that Ashe taken down by Pasta. So we're equal on both sides, losing 1 DPS apiece. Now this is going to come down to cooldown usage and who has better target focus as we force out a nade, and point finally goes in favor of Lava Lilies as Lilac was the one to take it down.
Yeah, Lilac just hanging out there on the point fairly easily, not even contested, and now it is going to be ticking in favor of them, although it does seem like it is starting to be taked here. Tycho going to try and push away the cap, and will be successful here, as does not seem like Pausat have found their answer. They're going to back away, regroup, and try for another day.
Unfortunately, they lost their Juno, and then shortly thereafter their Winston. Lava Lilies looking to take more advantageous positioning here on the enemy's high ground. Starting there early so they don't have to use cooldowns to gain that space is great. And I'm now watching Caramel as well as Lilac. They've got these DPS ults almost ready to go. If this pulse bomb lands, there is no safety net. Someone's going to explode. So Lilac, who's your target? Most likely it's going to be an Ana.
Yeah, well, Ashe is not going to be around for it. The pulse bomb does not hit. Does mean there's a little bit less pressure here on Pausat, but Pausat's still just not able to find their answer. We can see Willotron hanging out on top of the point, not getting in there. There is Maddie dropping the pulse bomb, also not hitting and not getting the recall through to stay alive. So that is going to be, again, more deaths for Paws out, and there is a steal there of the Winston going to get in onto the point as ult's being blown as well. Willotron desperately wants to get in here because we're already at 73%.
We had the duplicate come out from one, and then we had our Primal Rage response come out from Willotron. My concern here right now is Pause Out has yet to have a clean reset and engagement. Lava Lilies is just able to hit these ultimates and keep pushing them back and staggering them. Pasta's gotten that nano boost, as has Willowton. Now it's a battle of the beast, but Pasta is being sent to the sleeping zone with a tranquilizer dart for a little bit. But Maddie, unfortunately, being sent back to spawn means Lava Lilies need to spend more ults. Tycho is going to hit that orbital ray, but Zachary K has fallen, so we're equal on both sides. 99% to Lava Lilies right now.
No, well, Willowtron is left alone on the point, and that is going to be overtime ticking down. Round 1. Gonna go pretty handily over to Lava Lilies.
Like I said, Pause Out was just struggling to find the opportunity to get a full reset. At a certain point, you want to just serve yourself up and over to the enemy team on a silver platter. Someone's got to break through the chaos of the comms and say, hey, we need a reset or we need a soft reset. And if you're trying to soft reset and you're getting chased, just honestly walk over to the enemy team and give them a reason to want to eliminate you, truthfully. Because we got staggered so hard, teams Pause Out here did, that they could not regroup. Stay in the spawn doors if it's getting that difficult. Do not leave spawn. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200.
But there's heads to click.
Oh my gosh.
I want to push the buttons. I like pushing buttons. I play video games to push buttons. So I want to push buttons. Regardless, you're correct. Pause Out definitely should be playing a little bit more slow, regrouping as they need to. Or maybe we'll see if they can do that in this next round here, as Lilac getting into the Tracer duel pretty early on and certainly is winning it right now. Doesn't have the ability. Oh, Maddie tried to go for the heal, did not get it, and that is a player down right out the gate.
I mean, that duel was pretty heavily handed in favor of Lilac. The just one-click Tracer power is disgusting. Also, it came down to who used Recall for first, but I digress. We've now lost 2 more players. Zachary K as well as our Brigitte and our Winston have now all fallen for Pause Out. So remember what I said about don't stagger yourself, stay back. Well, unfortunately, player Maddie has already fallen again. So losing our Tracer kind of in the mid-fight zone before this fight has even fully ended, we really need to stay back and regroup, and that is exactly what we see occurring. Thankfully, now we also, credit where it's due right now, Lilac is spamming looking for this Sombra. Zachary K has already put this team on high alert, and they're doing their job well.
Just fire into the ether. See if the ether speaks back, so to speak. Is Diva going to be going forward to try and get a little bit of pressure? Takes a lot of damage in response. Damage being put down as Zachary K going very low, gonna heal back up. And Lilac is trying to fight. Tycho actually going very low as well. This could be the opportunity they need. Willowtron gonna go in and is traded for Zachary K. The Diva going low, but will not fall just yet as players being lost on both sides. It is not a definitive win for either team.
Lilac finding that Winston first. I thought they had it, but unfortunately the recall just did not hit the button in time for the health to be back in their favor. Our player Maddie trying to pull some attention, create an opportunity for their Winston to get back, get healed, and get ready to go and dive back in. Looking for another target. It looks as though we'll hack Diva and then go into the back line, but this ulting first from the Widowmaker. Caramel coming in with that duplicate is going to be able to do an impressive amount of damage into the back line. Pasta, Lilac, both fighting an elimination apiece.
Yeah, and now the ult coming out. Caramel using that Winston ult as best they can. And now Pause Out using their own Winston ult in response, but Willowtron does not have the support to be able to get away with it. Will go down, and again, we are at overtime, and it doesn't feel like Pause Out have an option. They don't feel like they've been able to get control, and they have to dive in to try and buy as much time as possible, and it's not working out for them. Timer's gonna tick down. Willowtron trying to get in, not getting there in time, and Lava Lilies with a very easy map 1.
All right, let's take a look at PLA of the game. It's going to be Queen Bee coming in with the Juno ultimate. I think this took place on map 2. Yes, it did. This is kind of Queen Bee given the treatment over to the enemy Ana that they experienced yesterday. My heart goes out to you because, oh my goodness, sometimes as a support, it's just you really struggle to sustain yourself and stay alive. And then, you know, the next day you come back and you're like, you know what, I suffered. Now it's your turn to do the exact same. Perhaps next map, though, we drop the Anas on both sides in general and we just go Juno, Brigitte across the board.
Yeah, it did feel It did feel really tough for Paws Out. Like they had a couple of times, like the start of map 1 seemed to go pretty well for them. They got really deep in, got a lot of control, and just could not do anything with it. And as soon as Lava Lilies just had a grip on this game, it just did not feel like Paws Out had an answer for it.
I mean, I think it came down honestly to just pre-fight positioning and understanding how to like best utilize those cooldowns to get where you want to be early, so you don't have to use them once the fight has started. Because if you have to catch up to the enemy team, you're already at a disadvantage. And so if you don't find an instant burst down elimination, you're already on the back foot and you'll start struggling. But I digress. That was just map 1. This is a best of 5 series, so it's first of 3, unlike yesterday where it was a quick 2-0 sweep in this instance. So Paws Out, you can bring it back on Kings Row, or you even have another attempt. I say Kings Row because it's hybrid, and yesterday all I saw was Kings Row. So
all I've seen so far is Kings Row too.
Anticipate Kings Row as our hybrid map here. If I see something different, I will be shocked in the best way possible. I mean, I've really pushed for go Blizzard World. Maybe we go. I mean, maybe avoid Eichenwald and Numbani. I mean, Paraiso. Yes, actually, you're correct. I did see that yesterday too. But Paraiso, Eichenwald, and Numbani seem to be the 3 maps that a lot of teams struggle with. It is literally just because of the way the high ground works on the first point, and then the way the high ground works in the mid zone. The last portion of those maps tends to be a little bit easier, but those 3 maps are very akin to each other in how they work dynamically and the compositions and how to run them on those maps. And I just think they are so overtly punishing to any player, because I know people that are very high up that play well into the contenders ranks. They're like, yeah, no, hard dodge with those maps. That it's just okay, Midtown, how about that? Very forgiving. The variation in height from the lowest point to the highest point isn't like Eichenwald. It isn't like Numbani, and so there's a little bit of an easier time. And also, we just heard that Lava Lilies Rising is going to have a swap on this map as well. So this may not be Kings Row. We might see something different.
No, it might be Kings Row.
Sorry, coming in on that Widowmaker. Yeah, okay, so probably gotta be Kings Row. We saw Sorry roll out on Kings both on offense on the Widowmaker and just decimate the DPS earlier. Ooh. But we're actually going to Paraiso once again for our hybrid map. Willotron, I want to see some creativity from your Winton gameplay here. I feel like your beast has yet to be fully unleashed on the Winton.
Yeah. I mean, is the question, do they stick with the Winston, I guess, or do they go for something else?
I mean,
in response, because the Winston, like you said, kind of did struggle a little bit.
You can, so right now on this map, there's 3 main options if you want to stick with the status quo, and that's good. You can go Sigma, you can go Winston, you can go Diva. If you want to get a little creative and do some interesting stuff, you can, technically speaking, force a Ram. You can force a JQ. Or you could go Wrecking Ball. Wrecking Ball is not out of the realm of possibilities of the first tanks that I mentioned, but again, it heavily relies on timing and getting in and out very safely and succinctly. And if one thing goes wrong during those engagements, it's game over. Plus, those types of compositions, you need to thrive in constant anxiety, because you have to let the point go for a little bit. You have to let them touch it. It's going to tick up. It's gonna get close, but then you come back and you take care of it. I personally don't like those situations. This is why I don't play Wrecking Ball on this map.
Yeah, it's gonna be a little tough. We do currently see the Winston for Lava Lilies, but it is the Junker Queen getting taken by Paws Out, and also running the Venture, which I've not seen a whole lot of yet.
Yes, Willow. Oh, give me the Junker Queen. I love JQ through and through. I mean, she is perfection. I don't care what anybody says.
We'll see if they can get perfection in this game. Right now, is just kind of towing the line right now, though there is Pasta going in and Pasta going out immediately. Not ready for that engagement, did not have the healing, and that might be the opportunity for a easy first point here, as there goes Sorry as well. Willotron looking a lot more comfortable seemingly onto this JQ, and will eventually go down, but not before Lilac falls as well.
We got a little overzealous and overstayed our welcome in that zone. Truthfully, you even saw the hello over at the enemy DPS thinking we'd be okay, but the focus beam, the extra damage that does when you're sub 50% health is absolutely decimating, and you need to be careful when that is happening. If that beam starts tickling you, it turns into a very harsh burn quickly. So we hear a sleep go down onto this Venture. The anti-nade, I think they're going to be able to go burrow anyway and get out A-okay. They do, but now this gives us a path of engagement for this backline on from Pasta. They go in, the JQ shouts and uses that axe. Might be able to make it out alive, but Winston now has no cooldowns.
Winston, not a whole lot to do here. There's the Venture as well, trying to get damage down on them. Might be a little bit too far forward. Both DPS are gone for Paws Out, and this might be the time for the point to get capped by Lava Lilies. Another member going down, but Willitron does trade for that one. Still, it is a chase back beyond the point. This first point likely going to be captured here.
Pasta finding Ana. Sorry is also going to take down Juno. So with both supports gone for Paws Out, and now Zachary K. No way, Zachary. I appreciate you. I appreciate you, Zachary. Not that one? Okay, okay.
Not that one.
I'll keep
alright,
an eye
cool.
out, though. I want to see. Give me one of them awesome shots, okay? Oh no, sorry, might do it first, though. Be
Yeah,
careful.
Sorry
Full
may win
DPS.
the battle. Yeah. Win the battle, maybe win the war. We'll see. As right now, we don't see the payload getting pushed that much at the moment. It is kind of a little bit in a standstill. Maddie in trouble.
Come on, Zach. Come on, Zach.
Zach is gonna do it. No, we're gonna see Pasta just running down right now. Sorry, trying to push this payload as the rest of the team comes backing away. Zach running for their life. Cannot. No. All right, not that one either.
I didn't. That was disgusting. Okay, so Lilac goes. I totally get it. No, Zachary, you're good. Lilac comes in above this poor Widowmaker, and you're anticipating, oh, I can headshot this Echo, no big deal. Little do we know, Lilac has duplicates Willowtron, and then drops down on Widow. That was disgusting, and that was a crime.
Yeah, a little unfortunate here as I just gotta peek out, try and get some damage to push away. Now, for how controlling that first point grab was, it has been a little bit of a slow push here for Lava Lilies. Like, they feel like they're in control, they're just not pushing the point here. Zachary gonna go down one more time, still struggling to find that play of the game. Willitron gonna go in, hit the ult. Does not seem to do a whole lot with it. Tycho maybe gonna fall, will actually go down, and there's Willitron grabbing another Saccharine, grabbing Lilac, and now Maddie falling in response. Pasta trying to stay alive, will not be able to do so, and Queen Bee's just gonna have to walk away. Good sleep to stay alive, and will eventually stagger out for the rest of the team.
All right, Zachary, I got you. I believe in you. You're able to get set up here. This is it. Oh, and I get the Ashe. Okay, my heart is already happy. Okay, I don't need a Widowmaker spicy play. Ashe is plenty spicy.
The good news is we have seen shots hit already from the Ashe, so we are already up from where we were. High ground being very useful here, though, for Paws Out, as they have now gotten that payload pushback, and they're going to hold this, waiting for the fight to come to them.
Well, they have this orbital ray ready to go, so they can play a little bit more of a waiting game, and without the dive-heavy composition of the Winston, they just wait for the enemy Winston to engage. We see the Kitsune Rush come out. Genji's going to use that deflect to make it out alive. Unfortunately, we have lost our Kiriko for Paws Out. We do still have this orbital ray online. We're opting not to hit it just yet, instead trying to just use some healing and do some damage to the enemy team, but it's too little too late now at this point. We've waited too long. We've lost 4 players. I think this is going to be a point set and lock here for the second point in favor of Lava Lilies, but only under 90 seconds on the clock means we have under 3 minutes to push it all the way in. Definitely a better opportunity now inside for Paws Out running this composition centered around a JQ.
Yeah, a little bit easier now. The height not a problem as much, at least. The dive has been kind of an issue here. Paws Out. Can they find their angle? Now, again, for how strong Lava Lilies seem to have been, this was a very slow push. We'll see if that continues as well in this final point here. Patroclus trying to get the team into the fight. We'll be putting out a little bit of damage here, but Lilac is the one who's going to go down first, and that is a big win for Paws Out. Does seem like Lava Lilies are kind of disengaging from this one. Don't want to continue off something that's not going to work. There is Sorry going down as well, and the Staggers are coming through strong.
We're still hanging on to this orbital array, but we do have Rampage come through. Unfortunately, Willow was too deep in. The supports cannot save them. Now, Queen Bee, she has this Nano Boost online. Winston is waiting for it. I'm anticipating a 1-2-3 count off a good ante. That first ante did not land, so I think this is just poking for space and staging right now. But this next jump, I can feel it in my bones. We're about to see a massive Nano go through. Please tell me I am right. No, it's Nano. We're having the Blade go through instead.
Nano Blade.
No, it's just Stride blading. The Lilac doesn't even need it.
Yeah, save that for the Winston. Actually gonna get the heal. Zachary, not that one either. We are still looking for the one, but right now it is Lilac going insane right now on Lava Lilies, and that is opening up so many opportunities. We're gonna get around to this final quarter, and there is one last push here. Balls out need to touch, and they need to touch now.
Okay, we got the orbital ray coming in. We still have Nano. Genji is dangerously low currently for Lava Lilies. Will Lilac survive? They do, but Maddie now gets in trouble. Pasta hits the Primal Rage and is going to go in swinging. Attempts to juggle one, gets one down. Zachary K is going to be eliminated. Bob's on point. Can Bob do work? No, he gets juggled away as well. Pasta drops the bubble on the objective, and as Willotron goes for the touch with 41 seconds remaining, they managed to get the third objective.
A very strong round, and after a strong map 1, you definitely have to wonder what are the options for Pause out. They looked really good, at least in some points here. That first point, they were able to hold off. Had very kind of similar, like, bright spots there in round number or in map number 1, but Lava Lilies just have not given them a whole lot of opportunities.
It's okay. Sometimes you just need to have the map flip one time and things go back in your favor. We'll have to wait and see. Pause out. What's the adjustments that are going to be made? Unfortunately, my girl crush of JQ is going to be taken away from me. Willotron, I understand. Winston's a little bit easier to play on the offensive angle here. Going in with that Tracer, we still have the Kiriko as well as the Juno. Now on the other side for Lava Lilies, we've got Queen Bee back on the Ana, and then Taigo here on this Juno as well. We've got Diva, and then Sari on the Ashe. The Dynamites are gonna be interesting here because they can force the offensive angles to be shut down a little bit more, prevent engagements. There also is no Suzu that will be available after. I digress. There will be one Suzu available, but you need to be careful. If you can force it out, your Winston can dive in. If you don't force it out and you throw it in at the wrong time and your Winston dives, well, your Winston dive plus the Dynamite will get Suzu'd. We'll have to wait and see what ends up happening. Never mind. Zachary's actually going to go Echo, no Ashe. I'm a little sad.
No longer the GOAT. No longer the one we're looking for here.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I have faith.
It's fine. Willotron gonna go forward here, trying to just out DPS this Diva. Currently not winning that fight by a long shot there. And Paul's out, gonna continue to tow around these angles to see if they can find their pick.
Oh, Diva hopping into apartment, doing a visceral amount of damage into the tiny room using those blasters. Tracer dangerously low. Zachary honed in on Lilac and found that elimination. The sticky nades land on another. Diva goes in to try and save the backline. I think manages to do just that, but Ashe dangerously low. I mean, if Diva's gonna hunt you down after you took care of both the DPS, Zachary, that is fine in my book. That was huge, but Willotron will find Queen Bee, so I think this is going to be Pause out taking the first objective.
And much faster than we saw Lava Lilies do the same. It took them a couple of pushes to grab it, and Willotron just push him forward, grabbing space. Diva's gonna come in and try and contest this. They're actually gonna try and fight this. I don't know if that's the best plan. Gets pushed off the point, and now will be staggered as well. So not only did you not stop the point from being taken, but you've lost your tank.
Now let's see if Lava Lilies disengage fast enough to not get punished by the lack of tank. Also, one thing I need to point out is I did also magically get my Lucio in this game, so thank you, Pause out. I did not realize I'd end up getting one, so that's made my day even more so. Sorry, throwing out that Dynamite, trying to be a little more oppressive. They've maintained this back high ground, but it's very far away, so they were safe for now. Their Diva is back. Pasta has a self-destruct, but remember, it's more of a, quote, zoning ult or a sustain ult to get Toki back. We'll have to wait and see if it gets any eliminations.
We'll see. We do see Willotron going very low and still diving in. Needs some heals ASAP here. Lilac on the side in the Tracer battle. Once again, we've seen how this goes before. Ults being used from the Kiriko. They're just going to go directly in, try to win this fight off the stats alone. Heals coming in, and Lilac still on the outside, looking for the angles. The stick does not hit, and it is again, feels like Paul's out, just slowly getting, there is the actual stick, and immediately pops the Winston ult. Willotron does not survive for very long inside of it, and that is a tank down. Paul's out, just losing this fight very hard. Gonna have to back away and hope for another chance at this push.
All right, so in exchange for that pulse bomb from Lilac, we used our Primal Rage, and realizing when Willowtroni got a little too low, we also hit the sound barrier. So unfortunately, we spent 2 ults when truthfully we could have just spent none. We heard the Orbital Ray get hit, we had pulse bomb get used, and Pasta right before the full fight had started had also ended up using their self-destruct. So many ults were invested by Lava Lilies, and you have so much time in the bank. We could have just been patient, but we can also save patience for another time. Zachary K comes in with that duplicate onto the D.Va. Loses Toki, unfortunately, so I don't know if we'll see a duplicate self-destruct this round. We might get it back. Pasta does end up finding the Kiriko in the back line. The question is, Zachary, can you do the same? You get dangerously low. No way you get sent back to spawn.
A very, very rough fight there for Zachary. Cannot get the victory, and now Lava Lily's feet under them feel like they have ripped control away from Paul's. The momentum is gone, and Lava Lilies, they're kind of building up that impenetrable wall we have seen from them in these first 2 maps.
Not to mention a wall of ults are about to come online. Queen Bee being the first one to hit it, uses that nano boost on D.Va. Lilac will be eliminated, but we've also lost Zachary K, so we're roughly equal, both losing 1 DPS. However, we've lost our Kiriko and we've lost our Winston for pause out. That is not a good sign. Tracer trying to take the point away and drag that payload to the checkpoint. Won't be able to do it. Is forced to just disengage. Gets dangerously low. Don't know if you want to hit that recall. Has no choice but to keep moving forward to get back to the spawn.
Yeah, a recall would be certain death, but Maddie gets back to the team, and again, another push for Paul's out. Now, they got a pretty decent chunk of the way. It's just this last corner that has been problematic, as Sorry continuing to keep the pressure on this high ground. Can Paul's out find their opening here? Bob is ready to go. We have 3 ults ready in total for Oh no, Maddie goes down. Sorry, with a crazy headshot, and without the tracer. Paul's out. Lose out on a lot of their DPS.
Well, Sakurine still has this Kitsune Rush. We could try and make up for the lack of power that we have right now. But, I mean, our Winston dangerously low is forced to jump out. We may swift step to catch up to him. We don't have it available. So our death is sealed in that moment. We still have a minute left on the clock. So right now, Pause Out just needs to disengage. There are 3 check marks on the board currently. I mean, getting eliminated is also one way to disengage. We just have to make sure no one else does get eliminated at this point. We are in last fight territory. It's going to take us some time to get to the objective, and then we have to brawl it out there nonetheless. Pause Out almost has every single check mark on lock. We need to find Queen Bee, though.
Yeah, Maddie is here. They do not know that Maddie is behind already, which could come out to be a problem. Positioning ready, and this is, like you said, kind of one of the final fights that we are going to have here. We have 30 seconds. Lilac starting to pump damage into that backline. Ults being used across the board. Bob coming out as well. There's the D.Va ult from Pasta. Gonna force people away. Sorry has gone down, and there is the Winston going super high in the air, trying to get something. Maddie gonna take out Tycho. Paul's out. They are low health, but they are winning this fight so far. Queen Bee is gone as well. Both healers dead. Lilac's gonna go down, and Paul's out. They needed to win the fight now, and they may have found their opportunity to get this second point.
I mean, with Patroclus as well as Sakurine both surviving, I think Pause Out had that one in the bag as soon as Queen Bee got eliminated. However, Winston, please don't pass away right now. We really need you. We've only got 90 seconds to push the payload in, and guess what? Our designated taxi driver, of course, is going to be our poor Lucio. Can't get involved in the fight, so that means you're chronically down 1 when you're forward like this, and that means catch them off early. Make sure we're doing it in advantageous timings, because if we jump at the wrong time and the whole team is there, we're sent back to spawn, and we may lose control of the payload just yet. Oh, instead we're having our Tracer push. This I don't mind, actually, considering we need that beat to come online here sooner rather than later.
60 seconds.
Yeah, we'll see here. Paul's out. Are looking here. They, like we kind of said before, they are in this area that's a little bit easier to play around because it just does not have that same height. We're going to see if they can make that happen. They're going to go forward here as their Chatron is the last member alive. It will not be alive for long. It is once again Lava Lilies. They're going to take map 2 to go up 2-0.
That map got insanely close. Remember, this is a best of 3, so we still need to have another map regardless to figure out who the true victor is. And will it be a reverse sweep? I don't know, but right now let's take a look at Lilac with their play of the game. This is at the final objective here during the first half. They go in, they slice, they dice. There isn't even a blade involved. No Q was punched in this instance in order to get that POTG.
It is crazy that it's not. There was the possibility of a nano blade. Not only did we not get the nano blade, but the play of the game was a Genji without the nano blade available at all. So, I mean, Lava Lilies look strong, obviously. A little bit of a better game. Paul's out able to get a little bit going for themselves, just not able to finish all the way through. Now, the last time around, it was them getting 2-0'd and moving on. There's a little bit of life for Paul's out. We're going to be going to a map 3 here. You know, can they pull it out? We're going to have to see. We're going to send it to a quick break here before we get to that, guys, though. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this.
Yo. Cash and the ticket is yours. Cash and the ticket is yours. Yo. Cash and the ticket is yours. Cash and the ticket is yours. Cash and the ticket is yours. Yo. Cash and the ticket is yours. Yours.
right, welcome back, everybody. We are deep in this series already between Lava Lilies and Pause Out. And right now, Lava Lilies with the 2-0. They are one map away from a victory and setting themselves to the finals. Again, I'm Thousand Eyes, that's Nerdy Bird. And Nerdy, Pause Out, they have backs against the wall already.
They do, but I mean, unlike yesterday, the opportunity to bring things back in their favor it can be now. It could have been last map, yes, but I mean, sometimes you just really struggle to find your footing, especially with a map that I think is pseudo a control point. I mean, what we're about to go into is also kind of a control point, but I digress. When you have that entry point of a control point, it can be kind of telling of what your playstyle tends to be, but I do really think that for, at least for Pause Out, their first attack on that objective was extremely strong for Paraizo, but we do also want to mention that we have a swap for Lava Lilies, and we're going to take Sori out, and we're going to put Caramel back in, so bye-bye our hit scan Widowmaker, and we're going to be having another flex DPS possibly come in, but Caramel has popped off in the past. I have full faith in their ability to perform, in her ability to perform now. We'll have to wait and see what the plan of attack is, though, because Thousand Eyes, we're seeing, at least for me, a new map type.
We are seeing Clash come in, and I have gotten the opportunity to cast a little bit of Clash earlier today. It is a game type that I am woefully unprepared for, but you know, I have experience in types like this, so I'm excited at least to see what compositions come out of this, because it is a lot more fast-paced.
It's tug of war control point. It's like tug of war flash, which flashpoint is like control point on steroids. So do with that and those analogies what you will.
If you played Team Fortress 2, it's like
yeah. But I mean, personally, I'm really glad that these maps exist, specifically Hanaoka, because out of the two CP maps that I missed the most, I mean, Temple of Anubis, which is Throne of Anubis, has been created. But then I really loved Hanamura. I love the aesthetic of it, and so this is beautiful. I love it. However, this game mode always gives me heart palpitations, so I wish the best of luck to both these teams. And we actually have Patroclus coming out on the Moira, and this is my first Moira I've seen in a long time. I've got my eyeballs, these peepers, they're staring right at this Moira, I want to know what you're cooking.
What we need is Patroclus to say this one's for you, Dirty Bird, right? Like that's what I'm hearing right now. We are gonna be seeing a Zachary K on this Sombra trying to find the angle for the hack and catch people
no
out.
way.
Now we are going directly into the fight here, and Lava Lilies, they are gaining control of it, at least for now. Patroclus has already gone down, and that is not what you want to see for the start of a fight. Do you see Zachary K having to back out as the rest of the team falling apart around them? It is Pause Out with a rough first pass at this point.
And not to mention, we've had Saccharine swap over to the tank. Willow has gone for... Willow's going for an achievement. Okay. Oh, all three roles in one broadcast. I mean, in one event. That is true. Willow started on DPS, went to tank, and is now on support. So Willow is being our triathlete, so to speak here. Saccharine coming in on this diva. Already 70% on that self-destruct, kind of huge considering the closest next is going to be the rally from Tycho for Lava Lilies. Speaking of them, they get eliminated, and Zachary K unfortunately will be joining them in the opposite spawn.
Yeah, it is going to be, again, Saccharine going down. And again, Lava Lilies with some control here. Members going down, and it feels like every time I'm looking at this screen, it is Pause Out on the defensive running away. And this is another win for Lava Lilies.
Now we have Tectonic. We have Tectonic Shock alive and ready to go for Lava Lilies currently. I'm interested to see if this is used in conjunction with maybe Terra Surge, perhaps Rally, so they can just continue to push forward. Well, that Rally ain't going to come to fruition just yet, nor will my Coalescence, my Kamehameha Beam ain't going to exist this fight either. Lilac's also gone. We have a hacked on a Queen Bee who has the Orbital Ray, but also going to be eliminated. Pasta, with your supports gone, I think you might be overcooked and you're sent back to spawn as well.
Yeah, finally, feet under, Pause Out. Although I have seen this multiple times. Every time I have seen Clash, it has been the team that has been struggling is able to hold on for a fight and maybe recap that first point. But there doesn't ever seem to be the ability to move past this. It is a wall that is difficult to break, but it does not ever give the win.
That's nice. I couldn't have put it better myself because it is painful. I mean, I've played this map type enough times to know, like, from where it was when they let us, like, they teased us with it, they play tested it, and I know that CD also feels the same way, that it's nice, it's different, but it's not quite fine-tuned enough to be in comp yet. But I digress. Players are learning to adapt and play with it. It's just so fast-paced that I'm sure my anxiety is just like, yeah, heck no. So hats off to all these players for being like, we have two options, and of the two, we're gonna go with Flash. I think it's advantageous and brave, but I'm looking at Zachary K coming in with this EMP. Is it going to be huge? Stop that Genji Blade! No, Yana hits the sleep instead! Willowtron, that was huge!
Yeah, not able to get that now. Caramel going crazy, takes out two. DPS already gone, and this looks like another win for Lava Lilies. Unable to do anything here, stuck up against this wall, and it's going to be capture point B given over to Lava Lilies, and now they're only going to have 2 points they need to grab.
Pause out, can pull this back. Willowtron still on the on at 60% on that ult. Our play Maddie has 93% on this pulse bomb, and theoretically could be looking to stick maybe Tycho, maybe Queen Bee. As Tycho gets hacked, but Zachary K is going to get hit with the drill from Lilac and get eliminated. Can we return the favor and get rid of Tycho? Just try to equalize things out, but Willowtron's been eliminated, and we also lose Patroclus. So with Patroclus gone, as well as our Tracer, I don't think this is going to go in our favor, but Zachary K has now picked up the mantle of the May, as Lilac is going to be eliminated by them, and Maddie gets to stick on a Queen Bee. She goes back to spawn. Caramel's in spawn. It's just Pasta alive on the point with Terra Surge.
Yeah, and finally, again, pause out. They get their win. And again, it's like that wall is so difficult to break to get that final point. But the problem is that you are also giving points away in the process, right? It doesn't matter who grabs that final point as much as it matters who gets 5 captures first. And right now, it is 3-2, and this B capture point has just not felt possible for pause out.
Well, let's see what Pause Out's plan is. I mean, they've got Self-Destruct coming in. They have Nano Boost available as well, but we're going into Tectonic Shock, Terra Surge, Rally, Orbital Ray. We need to find a quick and fast elimination if you're Pause Out. We're going to actually start in with this Nano Boosted Diva, who's forced out of Toki early, seeing their mech get dangerously low, as May is getting corralled underneath this pergola area on the objective. Will manage to survive, and they are pushing back Lava Lilies, but Lava Lilies haven't hit any of their ultimates yet. Never mind. Tycho said, yeah, I'm going for it, and finds the elimination on a Diva.
Yeah, now we're seeing again Lava Lilies controlling things, and they are just unstoppable. Again, team kill. Capture point B going over to Lava Lilies once again.
And the scariest part of the situation is we're gonna have Tectonic Shock. We have Blade. We also have Terra Surge, which is instantly getting hit. The Cryo Freeze is going to come out from Zachary K, keep them alive just a little bit longer. We're going to, in response, also use this Blizzard, but we had Fortify online for Pasta, so she actually manages to make it off the objective nonetheless. Tycho will also eliminate Zachary K. Lilac is going to be eliminated. We unfortunately have lost significant manpower currently for Pause Out, and I think this objective is going to go to Lava Rising, but, I mean, the spawn is right there. They can bring it back.
Yeah, it is kind of up in the air. The Lava Lilies, they have the Blade going. Caramel in the back line, and they're doing a lot of work there. Lots of members going down. 3 members of Pause Out gone, and this could be the opportunity. Remember, they only need that first tick to get the point, and that could be it. Lava Lilies gonna grab it, and that will be it. Map 3 and the series itself going to Lava Lilies Rising.
There was valiant attempts and adjustments being made by Pause Out, but at the end of the day, it's going to be Lava Lilies Rising moving on to our grand finals. And we can take a look at Lilac here on the Venture coming in with this POTG. This was, I think, the 4th or 5th. Yeah, this was the 5th objective, and they were cleaning house. That is an insane amount of damage being output by... I think Ventures are great, but they're a very high-risk, high-reward character. You have to be careful, make sure you follow it up with your teammates. That just goes to show that they work really well together with the rest of their squad. So, well executed. Pause out. I'm so sorry that for now the fun is done for you. But Lava Lily's Rising, you got a little bit more work to put in today.
Yeah, it's a little tough for Pause out. I mean, they put up a fight. They were getting points, obviously, in some of these matches.